Hello and welcome to G-Man Division 5G Week 4. That's it? Season 14? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it was week 4.
yeah, what confused me was I said the week before the season, and normally I'm like, I say the season and then get confused about what week it is, and now I was like, oh. Anyway, hello Spoon, I'm Core Knight.
I don't know how to respond to this. It's changed again. Hello.
Say hello Spoon.
Yes, hello, Spoon. That's better. I know what to do with that one now that I've been set up.
Yeah. Welcome to both viewers who aren't you and me at the moment. Maybe more.
There was G-Signal and another viewer.
Literally, another TV viewer is one of the users I have. I think might be a bot.
Yeah, I think that's a bot, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Speak up if you're not a bot.
Or
if you are a bot, send adverts.
Yeah. Also, speak up if I'm getting the levels wrong, because I think you might have been a bit louder than me there. But anyway, cool.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, no, that's better. All right, cool. So awesome. I have actually watched the replays of all of the 5G games this week and have clips from 3 of them. And
wow.
And I was going to make a clip from the 4th one, but I think the replay is corrupted or something, and like Blood Bowl 2 crashed when one of the Goblin Chainsaws tried to do something, and when I reloaded it, it did it again. So I think,
it doesn't like it.
Doesn't
like it. Going on.
So I have an excuse for the one game in 5G that I didn't make a clip of. So
anti-goblin bias from Cyanide.
Well, as well, I mean, I wasn't going to clip game 1 or game 3 because they were both we'll get to that. So let's start. Yeah. So game 1 was the Undead, the Bone Idols, Drythorn.
This is the big green war machine.
Against the big green war machine, yes. And I wasn't going to take any clips of this, but in the end I decided to. So I'll play them now.
Ah, cool.
So this is the Undead Drive, turn 5, and essentially this clip is purely there to show how far away from the LOS the Undead managed to get in their drive, and the answer is not very far.
Nowhere.
I mean, so far they've not got very far.
And they've turned over.
And I'm going to show the turn where the Orcs have a hit on the ball. Now, in some of the games in 5G, like teams, there are quite a lot of teams who just like had used up all 3 rerolls by turn 3 every drive, and
it can happen.
It can happen, but like people were rerolling things they shouldn't have, basically.
Yeah.
In this case, this is a clip where 2 pushes with a Black Orc with block, blitzing the ball carrier, turn 5. I think you should reroll that. 2 rerolls left, so I think that was a little bit too what's the word? Conservative.
Safe.
Yeah, conservative. Yeah. I mean, obviously the Undead look like they're in a bit of trouble. There's,
I think we've seen the scoreline, so I think we know that they are.
I'm not. Well, I've been specifically not giving away what the scoreline is.
Okay. But I've seen the scoreline.
Yeah. Anyone who's seen the scoreline will know. Possibly what I was thinking when I said I didn't think of anything I wanted to clip from this, because basically, okay.
This clip is the game.
This clip is the well. So the thing I would say about this game is both the Orcs and the Undead don't try hard enough to have a scoring threat early on enough. So they're both they're both teams with a lot of slow players, and that thing of like, oh, turn 7, make sure you've got a scoring threat. Because these teams both have a lot of like movement 4 and 5, really they need to be thinking about getting a scoring threat and preferably a whole cage forward on like turn 5, yeah. Because at this point, Drythorn has obviously realised, basically, he's stuck. He's not going to have a cage. It's time to potato. He goes for a bit of a
ambitious.
Well, it's a lot of dice, but he's is fairly safe. If that last one wasn't a one, and he's rolled a lot of 1 in 9s to get to this point. Yeah.
Hmm.
A 1 in 81 into a 1 in 9 for the turn before, and then then that dodge forward and whatever. Wait, we watched. Yeah. Okay, I was waiting. Okay.
I think it's gone all the way around now.
Yeah, it has gone all the way around. You know, you need, like, when you're undead, you need to have some of the zombies, or preferably a mummy or two, far enough ahead of the LOS that you can have a cage and sit in that cage and then score from that cage.
Yeah.
And
The ghouls are fairly fast, but
yeah,
you still need to make some progress.
I actually corrected myself in my notes, which was I was really harsh when I first wrote it, but actually, this game shows two teams who were good at defending, like really good at defending, made sure that the opponent couldn't score, and
But both struggled a bit more to attack.
yeah, exactly. So both of them could have improved their attack, and this clip is showing how far the Orcs managed to get away from the LOS on their drive.
It's further.
It's very slight. I mean, the undead. Actually, I think the undead got a little bit further forward because of
with the last bit with the potato.
But this is slightly potato. There's at least
This is a bit,
they're in contact with someone lying on the ground. There's
a 3+ roll away from getting a 1 dice, aren't they?
Not even. There are
2 dice. Sorry.
There are no dice roll away from getting a 2 dice, basically.
Oh, okay.
So there's skeleton takes away the what's it?
True.
Now here I would have actually dodged away the plus agi ghoul to try and pick the ball up instead of taking these other blocks, freeing up the mummy's good to cover the ball. But the last move of this play is the other ghoul coming back to try and pick the ball up, and essentially on turn 14, I think that leaves you no one in scoring range, or maybe there's like a billion GFIs for this ghoul to make after it tries to pick up, if it manages to pick up. As it is, turn 14, 0-0.
Movement 7, so it could have made it, couldn't it? Because they can go.
Yeah, you're right.
2 turns after. Yeah, they should have been able to go.
Just about, though. It would have involved from there.
14 with normals. It would have involved 3 or 4 GFIs.
Assuming the Orcs didn't manage to get anything in the way, which they were managing to do for the whole rest of the game,
That's fair. Yeah. No, it wasn't the greatest plan necessarily. But...
yeah. Both teams defended well, but need to work on their offense. And it's worth noting as well that this turn 14 defense by the undead, they were like 5 players down or something. There were a lot of KOs around by this point in the game. So there weren't very many early on, but
they built up over time.
Well, not so much actually. They mostly came in the second half, and they mostly came around turn 12. They lost. They were down 1 player or something on turn 11, and they lost a player turn 12, lost a player turn 14, 13.
Yeah, they suffered 6 KOs in the end. It says on here. So
yeah, exactly.
And 2 Kaz.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's it really. 0-0 for the
6 KOs and they only made 1 KO roll. So yeah, that last drive was pretty rough then.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, both teams need to make sure they have more scoring threats, and also kind of think about getting downfield a bit quicker. I don't know, or it's really hard to say, because I do think both defenses played well. So both teams were really good on defense, and it makes it hard to really say they should have gone forward more. Maybe they would have if they had a chance, but
it's Div 5. It's a good place to learn, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't going to make any clips from this game because basically nothing much happened. Essentially, 2 fairly bashy teams picked up the ball, ran to the midway, and then and then punched each other for 4 or 5 turns, and then with 3 turns left, both desperately tried to run forward and failed. That's
I feel like if you actually look at the lore, that's exactly what Orcs would do.
Yeah, it was basically an Orc mirror match where one of the Orc teams were dead.
Yeah.
Oh, and the troll did really stupid a lot.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Were any of those where he didn't have friends, or was that
uh,
just the troll being really badly
I
behaved?
think. Oh, actually, now you mention it, I think I did make a note that he did
Because
activate
I
him
think in the
when.
last week's one, a couple of times he activated it without
Oh,
having any
I might
friends.
be thinking about last week. I didn't pay enough attention. I remember noticing that there were some ones, so I don't know if
Uh,
some of these. Oh, there were. Sorry, there were at least one or two turns where he was separated, but it wasn't the orcs' fault. So like the undead marked up everyone. The troll was out of contact with any other orcs, and there wasn't really a good way of getting into contact again. So they activated. But so I think one or two of them might have been 50-50s, but 7 out of 14's still pretty terrible considering like one or two of them were bad, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
looking at the dice, the troll rolled 9 of his dice were ones. He
Mm.
had 7 2s and 7 5s as well,
Yeah,
and only 1s and 2s on everything else. So yeah, probably quite a few of those were just normal stupids.
yeah. Um, I do remember there being a lot of ones, for the really stupid activation.
Yeah,
But yeah, and a pretty poor SPP haul. Two Kaz for the orcs and
nothing for the
basically
undead.
nothing for the undead. So and
Yeah,
the
at least I suppose at least a ghoul got the MVP rather than a zombie.
yeah, I,
Just slight improvement.
yeah, and not just any ghoul. The plus agi ghoul is
Yeah,
nice.
although he's already got most of what he needs.
I'd like him to have sidestep and maybe
I'd like him to have it. Yeah,
sidestep and sure hands. I'm not sure which order I'd get them in.
they're both nice to have.
Yeah, it
I don't
depends.
think they're absolutely essential at this lower level.
It depends on if there's any. If there's imminent playing of strip ball, playing against someone who's got strip ball, then
Yeah,
you want sure hands pretty quickish, but probably a 2+ is enough for picking up. Um, and a MVP for Black Hawk blockers. So both MVPs going to people you want more SPP on, but no levels at all, and no important injuries. So that was that game. So the next game, whoops, is he says showing the thing. Damn it. Let's just play. Is Aldar's Pro Elves against Erwindor's Chorfs. Erwindor gets Grashnak, who it turns out will be very what's the word, central. Well, is very important for what happens at the end of the game. But we'll start with a clip in turn 2 where Aldar forgot that one of his dodge linemen didn't have block, and so takes them both down, and that killed
uh,
the dodge lineman.
uh,
I mean, you say, oh, but like this
it's
is
of all the ways for him to die. It's quite sad.
you make a mistake, you should be more likely to die if the coach is makes an error. So I'm very happy to point this out, and not just because it's Aldar.
I'm not sure I like that move of just running the hobgoblin up on his own.
So that was the other reason why this clip didn't stop the moment that player died, is because you do not need. Whoa! Oh, it didn't repeat. Damn it!
Damn it!
God damn it! Okay. Uh,
What turn? Turn 2, and he's moving that far up.
yeah, it's a totally unnecessary potato, and there's a couple
Because
of
there are elves still around. That catcher with
yeah. I
Wrestle was there. I
I
don't know if he got knocked down later.
I think I stop it before the point. Like there's at least 3 elf players who could theoretically get to the point at which that potato goes.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe there's a 4th as well. I think.
Well, it ends with one of the elves getting blitzed,
Yeah.
and that one I don't think it armor broke, so
No, it didn't.
he could have just got up and marked him, and then the one with Wrestle could dodge out. So it's 2 2+ rolls to get a 2 dice on the ball with Wrestle.
Yeah. And that is exactly what happened in the next turn. But I decided to. But like, why?
There's not much point in doing it. I think we can see what went wrong.
Yeah, why potato like that? It just doesn't. You should. It's the same thing as that undead in the orc game where you should try and keep your ball carrier within your pile of slower players, right? That's kind of the important
Yeah,
thing. Um,
I think it almost looked like he was going to stop it just behind like the line of Chaos Dwarves,
yeah, I don't know.
and then
I
I
don't know.
don't know whether he actually did keep on moving,
I feel like
or
he,
whether or not my brain just felt like that's where he was going to stop.
yeah, behind. Like, I feel like he was going to like build a kind of weird cage and then pile up behind the dwarfs.
Yeah,
And then as he was moving, maybe realized actually I've not made a good cage. And if he'd have
yeah.
had,
There is a guy on the floor there, I suppose.
yeah,
He would have been stood next to.
it wouldn't have been that hard to hit the corner. One corner of what I'm thinking was going to be the cage was based. You could have hit that away and then got a blitz on the ball fairly easily if he'd have made the. But basically, the problem stems from he didn't build a good cage,
Yep.
which he had enough players to do, and there was no reason for this potatoing. Um, so there.
He was more interested in getting the free dice, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And this second clip shows from the beginning of the first half. Now, basically, the Chorfs managed to get it back together. Like, so the Pro Elves, not did get the ball down next turn, but there was a lot of like backwards and forwards. The ball eventually getting protected a little bit, and the number of elves on the pitch dwindled rapidly. Yeah, there were like 7 KOs or something ridiculous. So it
Well,
was,
I was just looking there, and it looked like there was like 3 injuries and a couple of KOs just from the start of that clip.
yeah, exactly. And by turn like 5 or 6, there were like 4 elves left, and they were running away a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, when he's only got 11 players to suffer 6 KOs and 5 casualties, it's never going to make an easy game.
I mentioned in Discord, I don't like how much he based up. Like, there was a lot of going for the ball sack, which involved basing up first, or once the ball was free, basing up dangerous players. And,
Yeah.
so in this case here, first of all, I want to say Owen got the blitz and like left one player unmarked for no reason whatsoever when you could see that the ball was scattering out. And it's so easy for Uldar to set up a.
Run off.
Yeah, exactly. And, it doesn't take much to. Like, the Chorfs can base with 2 GFIs, but no blitzing.
Could he not blitz with? Oh no, he's marked up the Bull Centaur.
So
which
he should have marked up the Bull Centaur earlier, but I guess he dodged through that corner.
Yeah.
But I feel like, so basically Uldar 2 turned very rapidly, but it was essentially because either Erwindor needed to mark up everyone, including that catcher, or which he's got like 5 players in a in almost contact in a weird like semicircle in front of that catcher that he doesn't base up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks like he was trying to not put the Hobgoblin on the line.
Yeah, but
which I don't fully get, but
also if you're not going to like base everyone up, then have players back who can hit, who can't be stopped from defending against it, because that's the real problem here is once he gets the ball and runs forward, it doesn't take much to make it impossible or hard for the Chorfs to get hit back. And even when they do hit him back, assuming there's no armor break, he's now close enough to score from the ground. Elves.
Yep. It is very difficult to stop Pro Elves from scoring quickly if they do want to, though.
Yeah, it is a bit, yeah. But
so it could have caused problems anyway.
Like, at first, I was going to say, was it on purpose? Did Owendor want Uldar to score quickly so that he could get a second chance at at the ball and hitting things and being in control? But I don't think that's what happened. From rewatching it over and over, I think he just didn't plan for it very well.
I was going to say, if that's what he was aiming for, it went beautifully.
Yeah. Because
Uldar. There is not many Pro Elves around that could get away or anything. He can easily mark up those other ones and leave him with no choice really, but to score very quickly.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Uldar scored in 2 turns, but it was dangerous. He lost the ball so many times in the first half that it and he had the opportunity to make it harder for Uldar to score, I definitely would have been trying a bit more to stop Uldar from scoring, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, I actually have a third clip from this game, and
What?
the third clip
Madness.
has two things that Erwindor does that just I don't understand at all. So this is another.
That's a much nicer cage type bit going off to start with.
So he starts off in a nicer cage,
And he undid it.
and then he wanders off.
What? Hang on, what?
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
There is an elf in the backfield, unmarked, fully able to go and pick that ball up. That is not a good place to be, punting the ball from.
I don't get it.
No, and he has enough players.
Surely there was a plan there. Was there a plan?
No, I don't know. I think the problem was. No, I think the problem was
playing fast and loose and
I don't
just
know.
seeing what happens.
I don't know.
Maybe thinking it's Div 5. All I want is some SPP. Maybe not caring as much about the result.
You don't get SPP from punting the ball. Just
yeah, I know.
In case we need to underline that fact.
I don't know.
I'm
trying to think of any possible reason why that may have happened.
No,
it's a shame because he's normally in the chat with us, so he could have explained it.
Yeah. But
he clearly gets the ball back.
Yeah.
Is this the thingy moment that we've heard
about? The thingy moment that we've heard about. Yeah, which is again why the clip is carrying on for the whole 2 turns, because something else interesting happens. Now, to not to fill the time, but he could have easily used these pushes to push the guard Chorf into position to at least mark the ball, and instead he doesn't. Gets a few more hits in for just bashing purposes.
The bashing did seem to go fairly well for him.
Yeah, bashing did go well. 1 dice, slightly scary. But fine.
It's a 2+, I suppose.
And then the fun bit.
What he needed.
The great thing about Grashnak is horns and strength 6 equal 3 dice.
Yep.
The ball scatters onto Grashnak,
which is ideal.
Well, except he doesn't catch it, so he loner rerolls it. Now, I do not know of many people who would choose to do that, but in hindsight, anything that works is a good plan, right? He had no one left to move. So
I would have been just happy that it scatters onto Grashnak, because it would have meant that there'd have been a tackle zone there at least. But I suppose that still doesn't really stop the elves.
Yeah, exactly. Agi4, one contact with
Agi4, he just showed that he's happy to do the 2 dice uphill.
Yeah.
The push is fairly easy to get from that.
Yeah. So
in hindsight, it might be the super play.
Yeah, exactly. It might actually be. So the lack of caging, I'm
not sure that's a good idea still.
And the punt is just terrible. But then I think
I would have rather have taken him being pushed off the pitch, because at least Uldar would have had to use his players to do that.
Yeah, I mean, or just build a cage. It's not that hard. You've got enough players.
Well, to get to that, if the guy had kept hold of the ball, in order to actually surf him, he would have had to do.
Just don't move there.
2 or 3 tackle zones.
It's turn 12. You've got enough players to build a cage. Build a cage. Jesus.
In fairness, he started this clip, I think, almost in a cage.
Yeah.
It was one that was relatively easy to get to, but if the ball had come out, it would have been in the middle of all of the chorfs.
Yeah, it's like it's like he sabotaged his own already okay enough cage. It's
a bit difficult to understand why some things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. I'm sure at some point he'll listen to this and give us an explanation, or maybe he's deliberately avoiding this for reasons.
But I mean, the plan worked. Also, another thing I should mention. Obviously, The elves fail to get the ball off Grashnak, and Grashnak scores, which you know, it's,
I like it.
but
Does
you
he
know,
have the normal Minotaur animation? I assume.
um,
Not that
it's
I know what that
no,
is,
no,
but
it's better. It's better. So the normal Minotaur
oh,
animation is like he throws the ball on the ground and it bounces away. But Grashnak throws the ball into the ground so hard it jams into the ground and stays where it is, like halfway into the ground.
oh, you've made me want to start scoring with more star players now, even though it's a bad idea.
Grashnak, like I zoom in at the end of this clip because I think he looks awesome, right?
He does.
He really looks like a big star player. It's really cool. Although we zoom into his back or his side, but
I think,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, he's and he's a really good star player. There we are. I think maybe the star players who came in the first iteration of Blood Bowl, when it was just 8 teams or whatever.
They've had a bit more work on them.
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones with the special, looking things and stuff. But
Hang on. He was actually in a cage to start with. It's because if he followed up on a block with a chorf, and then that's what destroyed the cage.
yeah, he basically broke up his own cage with his own need to hit things. Which it's like this is one of my
Problems
bugbears.
with bash teams.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't mind bash teams. I quite like bash teams. I love playing as bash teams, but you've still got to protect the ball a little bit. Yeah,
Okay, people playing as bash teams. Then.
People playing mind. No, there's a difference between playing as bash and playing mindless bash. Good bash teams will still win the game and score more touchdowns, and will try really hard to kill all your players in the meantime. But if that doesn't work, you've still got to protect the ball. And this was a really strong case of I just want to hit things, and I've hit things so much I don't have any players left to build a cage around the ball. Oh well, I'll just either
Unless I turn things around, I'm going to be playing as some sort of bash. We'll see whether it's mindless or not. Later.
Maybe your elfing will stand you in good stead. But
yeah, or it might make me do stupid things with the ball that doesn't work.
Yeah, so the only complaint I've said about Aldar was that I think he based too much, and that left him. He lost a lot of players, but I think he lost a lot of players before he even started doing that. It was just a game where elves left the pitch, and he only had 11 of them.
I think that sometimes you do see pro elves do that quite a lot, and they rely on blodging things to hopefully keep them standing. They play ultra aggressive, and when it works, it's really oppressive. But then they slowly start to dwindle.
Mm-hmm. He also rolled a couple of fairly key snakes that I didn't show in so after sacking the ball. I think there was where I showed it where Owendor potatoed. Aldar gets the ball back, and I think there was a snake at the end of that, which allowed Owendor to get more hits in again. And then in the second half, there was another really badly timed snake that gave Owendor loads of extra hits as well. So there was a bit.
The wake up from KOs were a bit rubbish as well.
Yeah, it was. Aldar was unlucky.
Yeah.
Owendor played worse. Just saying. Ooh,
we've been fairly harsh.
Yeah.
On Owendor there.
Yeah.
Well.
So
hopefully we'll have good things to say about him next week.
Yeah. Were there
a
levels?
lot of SPP?
Yes, there were.
Got a lot of SPP. Yeah. What, 2 for the Chorfs and 1 for the Pro Elves?
Yeah. So a lot of SPP. That's what happens when you score 2 and Kaz 5. Even with a failed MVP, that still So level up on the Sure Hands Hobgoblin.
Block unless he gets a double.
In which case, dodge.
Dodge.
Or if he gets stat up, takes all of them, except armor. Obviously, they movement, strength, or agility. And the blocker.
Guard or Mighty Blow. I think we had this conversation last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where you really quite like Mighty Blow, whereas I quite like Guard.
Like it's a long-term league, so you might as well get Mighty Blow on everyone, so that if someone gets a double on their second level up, they're not Guard Claw, which is horrific combination.
Well, they might end up there eventually anyway.
Yeah, true. But also this is the thing of like
it's in the wrong order.
Yeah, guard is also great for winning games, and we don't care about winning games. And mighty blow is great for leveling, and we do care about leveling, right?
Yeah, based upon just seeing that, it's going to be mighty blow, isn't it?
I think you might actually. Oh yeah, it is. And he did roll double on the other hobgoblin. So
nice.
A dodge hobgoblin. Still
not an amazing player, but the best carrying thing that he's got.
Yeah.
With blodging sure hands, it's reliable at least.
And now you're fairly, and mobile. I'd even consider getting kick-off return next instead of block, because I think kick-off return helps more for his job.
Like with the potatoing that went on last game, I'd go block.
You're right, actually, the potatoing means he probably should get block. But anyway, that's still another 13 SPP.
It's something that could very easily be worked on, though.
Yeah, hopefully he'll
in other games, he's probably not playing anywhere near like that.
Hopefully he'll actually, have some more players by then. I feel like
he's not had a particularly good start to the season.
So he won the game, and he's only got 20, bank left after the game.
He's lost like 2 Chaos Dwarves and a Bull, hasn't he, or something like that now?
Yeah, but he must have. So he spent 10 to get
3 Chaos Dwarves and a Bull.
Yeah, but he spent 10 on Grashnak. So he must have rolled either or he must have rolled low to start with, re-rolled it, and then rolled a 1.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation, right?
Or a 1 into a 1, yeah. I suppose that is rolling low.
Mm-hmm. But if you roll a 3, you'd probably re-roll that. Or if you roll a 2, you're definitely rolling it. So
especially with how badly he needs money at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he's still a Bull down and a blocker down.
Mm-hmm. That's sucky though.
Yeah, losing 3 blockers and a Bull already.
Anyway, let's do Uldar's. So Uldar got an MVP on a lineman.
So it's going to be dodge to replace the dodge one that died?
Yeah, the dodge one that he killed himself by picking both down.
That's a considerably harsher way to frame it. The one that he killed himself rather than the one that died.
Well, I mean, he picked both down. It was a mistake, Yeah,
it was a mistake.
Like, with a lot of things, I think it's really important to, like, the kind of the key thing if you're trying to be competitive is just don't make mistakes. If you can get rid of all the misclicks and all the potatoing when you don't need to, or lobbing the ball forward when you don't need to, then actually the rest of the game you can do really well. Yeah, just don't make mistakes, and everything else kind of won't. Even if you don't do anything amazing, you could still. No mistakes probably means you're getting at least a draw. Mistakes are like little mistakes.
Up someone that's similar like experience to you, probably.
Yeah. But
I think you still got a bit of a caveat in there.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
If there's people that are planning out your next turn for you by moving the people to try and force you to do stuff, it's not always going to be the easiest if you're not used to that.
Yeah, I had I used to play American football, and one of the American Wendell, just in time to miss us talking about how badly you played in your game against Uldar, which you won. That was harsher than I'm getting harsher and harsher the more I talk about it, or maybe the more sides where I drink.
I was going to say that's actually less harsh than what you were saying during the clip.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Mino does rock. That's true.
I mean, Grashnak specifically rocks. Grashnak is amazing. Chorf Minos, not so much.
No.
I wouldn't take a Chorf
Or
Mino.
that movement down one that we had in our division last season. That one wasn't great either.
No, yeah, movement 4 Minos is not a great shot, not a great look on a Chaos team.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm going to have a look in and see how that one's doing, because that team's still going.
Didn't that guy die? The Minotaur died before the end of the season.
Did it?
Yeah.
No, it's still there.
Oh, god damn it.
It's got a movement down and an agility down now, as well as claw, juggernaut, and tentacles.
So he's still using it for every blitz as well then.
Yep, 44 star player points.
Anyway.
Enough about that.
Yeah.
We complained about that enough last season.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I do like Minotaurs on Chaos teams, and I do think they actually have a place on Chorf teams, even though there's quite a lot of people who really are against them. But the fact,
I don't think they're too bad early.
Yeah, the trouble is they run the point at which they run out.
They're
of
also
good,
expensive.
Yeah, so if you get to a point where you're trying to outstrength your opponent, then Chorfs need them. I think, like a really high TV when you're in battles against 2000 TV Chaos, it's really helpful to have a strength 5 guard piece. The fact that they're if they level and they don't get normals, they rapidly become quite crappy. And they die quite fast because they're like one of the most expensive pieces that are armor 8 on your team. It's not a good combination.
So what we're saying is they're relatively nice early on if there's a lot of bash. They're quite nice late on if there's a lot of bash. In the middle, they're kind of sucky.
And also, when they so it's the point. It's like it's the environment thing, isn't it? If you're in an environment where you're not the highest TV team, I don't like them. If you're the highest TV team, it's fine being bloated because you're already giving away a wizard, so you might as well give away 300 TV as 150. Does that make sense? So I don't like them if
sometimes.
I don't like them if they're the 150 TV difference between two teams, but I like them if they're more than 300 TV difference.
If you're going to bloat hard.
Yeah, exactly. You get a lot more advantage from being much higher TV than you do from being a little bit higher TV.
Yeah.
So if they're the difference between being a little bit higher TV and being very high TV, they're good. If they're the difference between being lower TV and being higher TV, they're bad. There you go. Anyway, I have realised as well that we've done 45 minutes of talking, and we haven't actually put the predictions up yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to point out that we're 2 games in.
Well, that's fine. As I mentioned, the next game I didn't take any clips of because it was like there was
one-sided.
It was a bit one-sided. It's also like there wasn't really a great moment to clip. If I tell you, I'm going to explain the game in like 4 sentences, and I don't think a clip made it better.
Rats kicked to the goblins. Goblins failed to pick up. Gutter runner picks up the ball.
Like that is close enough to the truth that we do
pretty much everything that goes on like that.
We don't
see those sort of...
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the game any more than that once you've said those words. I mean, that's
a sad time.
It's a bit harsh, and it's not entirely true. And we will talk about those games. We will talk about that game a little bit more. But first of all, predictions: Orcs versus Undead, a 0-0 draw. No one predicted a 0-0 draw. So I've opened up the dialogue to edit the prediction score, and I didn't need to because
I was going to say I don't think we've got a huge amount to put in there.
No, yeah, and also Pro Elf against Chorfs. Everyone voted for Uldar, so congratulations, Erwindor. For proving everyone wrong.
He proved himself wrong. He voted for him as well.
Oh, did he? That's that's hedging your bets, isn't it? That's kind of
yeah. Yeah, even Erwindor voted on Uldar.
Yeah, and
at least you're going to be right on one way or another.
Yeah, I mentioned to Uldar about this week or something. He said, "Yeah, I don't think I did very well," but actually looking at it. He did as well
as he could.
Yeah, he did as well as anyone else did. So
better than most.
Yeah. So anyway, on to the next game, which was the goblins against the rats. And I've said this before, but basically, rats are the worst matchup for goblins. Like, obviously, a team where you lose some of your best players when there's a touchdown. Against the team that's basically the best at scoring touchdowns is not a very, I
find Wood Elves really horrible to play against those goblins.
Wood Elves are bad as well, but Wood Elves have the thing of like all their players are so expensive that the whole fouling thing is great because you can reduce the number of Wood Elves on the pitch quite rapidly.
If you can knock them down.
Whereas Skaven are cheaper and there's more of them, so it's kind of it's less. You're less likely to win the attrition battle against Skaven, or if there's only 11. I think there are 12 rats in this game.
That's literally what I was about to check. Yeah.
It means that there's less. You're getting less TV difference. So essentially, I think the TV difference. I can't remember. I'll have a look on.
200k.
200k, which was with a Nuffle altar. So there were 3 bribes and Bomber Dribble Snot and Fungus the Loon. But that does mean there were 5 secret weapons. And as you said, essentially, the goblins set up all on the line to get those all-important LOS hits and try and, start the Kaz trainer rolling, including the 2...
They need.
Pardon?
I suppose. If they're going to win, they probably need that.
Yeah. And, I don't like it, but I do think you can set up a couple more goblins further back and then bring them 6 squares behind the trolls, because essentially what you're doing is you're making sure the trolls get 3 dice by giving 2 assists. Give 1 assist and then have the other assist 6 squares away, so at least you've got more goblins able to react.
That makes sense.
As it was, one of the ball and chains, while trying to hit a rat, pushed one of the goblins off, who then had to move into contact again. So that goblin could definitely have been 6 squares further back, and it would have, it would have
helped a lot.
It would have removed a 3 dice that could have been really bad if there weren't pushes involved.
But with the goblin team as it is, I would have liked to have seen both of the diving tackles and probably the sidestep one a bit further back.
Yeah, as it was, I can't remember who was the ball carrier, but there was the ball carrier back. There was one other player in the middle, 2 squares back, and then 9 players on the line.
No, not 9 players on the line.
Which was too much. Yeah. And
both the trolls and the fanatic on the line, maybe I'm not even sure
whether
I'd want that.
The rats had set up quite deep as well, though. So they were 3 or 4 squares back, maybe to avoid troll hitting, or to make the GFIs the trolls. I don't know.
Staying out of the way of the fanatics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too.
Is there any move 3 or 4?
But yeah, the fanatics, trying to avoid the fanatic is silly, because each time they move 1 square forward, they could go any of one of 3 directions. So for them to hit you from 3 squares away is
very unlikely.
A 1 in 27. Actually, that's not true. If it's in the middle, if it's a straight line, it gets better because you can zigzag. But anyway, it's not very likely, and not really worth worrying about that much. But anyway, I think maybe because the rats set up back, quite far back, the goblins didn't bother having as many players further back, maybe. And the ball didn't scatter that far back, but it still went 1 square further back than the center point. And the goblins failed to pick up after taking a bunch of hits, which...
It's a tough matchup to learn.
Yeah. Essentially... against rats, always have players back. Doesn't matter what race you are, at least 3 players, 2 or 3 squares back from the line, just in case. I felt
fairly confident with having the 2 diving tackles as well. I thought that might have made it a fair bit more difficult for the gutter runners to get in and steal the ball.
But if
they were just on the line,
it's worth noting that one of the gutter runners has guard. So it ended up being that the goblins had 1 player back with the ball and quite a lot of players forward. The rats run through, put 4 players in between, which isn't a great deal to stop them, but it puts enough pressure on. The goblins aren't really able to make a cage and get as many hits. Again, this whole weighing up hits versus, protecting the ball thing.
Erwindor, if 1 minute starts up again, then you probably want to join that. That was a lot of fun for throwing goblins, but if you really want to win, that's not necessarily the way to do it. Making the goblins fly.
No. Well, the goblins did have... All right. Then the ball gets knocked over. There's actually there's a bit of a scuffle where the ball bounces around for like 3 or 4 turns before the rats finally pick it up and score. So they pick it up on turn 4 and they score on turn 5. And there are only 11 players left. Sorry, there are 12 players left at this point, and 3 bribes, and 3 of the secret weapons have been used, and 1 of the bribes fails. So they go from having, like, theoretically 12 players and 3 bribes to going down to 11 and having to set up the 4 remaining secret weapons on the pitch. So they know they're not going to have any of the secret weapons left after the first half. And they know they're going to be down to 7 players after the first half, and they're 1-0 down. And essentially, at that point, like,
you've already lost near enough, haven't you?
Yeah, basically. And this is the point where I didn't really feel like it was worth taking clips of this game, because
if you've got 7 goblins against 11 rats,
even if you're 1 ahead,
you're still in a really tough spot.
Yeah, exactly. And being 1 behind, is the opposite.
It sounds like that game was pretty much entirely lost on that first setup then.
Yeah, like,
if he had a couple of players back so that he could have defended the ball a bit more when he dropped it.
Maybe, it should have been better defended. That's the thing. Like, there's no excuse not to protect the ball against, rats, because you have to. You know what they're going to do. You know they're going to try and harry you and get the ball free. So you need to protect that ball. And actually, as Erwin
It'll be a learning experience, I suppose.
It is a learning experience. Goblins are a horrible learning experience. Like,
it's a hard team to play.
It's so painful.
Really difficult to balance the secret weapons.
Yeah, and as well as the secret weapons getting sent off. So 1 gets sent off after the first drive where they're at score. Then 4 more have to come on, and they all 4 get sent off, obviously, after the first half. Which, by the way, the rats turn over the ball again and score. No, they don't. Do they not? No, it's 1-0. They stop the score in the first half. So it's 1-0 to the rats, and the 4 secret weapons go off. And there's been a badly hurt or 2 at the end of the first half. Yeah. So, the rats are down to 6 players. No, so they're down to 7 in the second half, and then they lose another player, like on the first blitz of the rat turn. So it's down to 6.
They lost 5 of the normal goblins, didn't they?
Yeah. So and there's not much you can do after that. They get based up. So the rats score 2 turns. It's 2-0. The goblins get blitzed for the next one as well. So the rats all, base up, pile in and base up everything. And the goblins go for what Owendor suggests of the handoff to a player and then try and throw him, but the handoff doesn't work and the ball scatters into the open. 3-0 to the rats. That's pretty much it.
I can see there was 3 attempts to throw teammate, and 2 of them. Well, it says they were unsuccessful. That doesn't mean they didn't go down the pitch.
So they were both unsuccessful, as in the troll picked them up, didn't eat them, but they crashed at their feet. Yeah. So one good kind
of inaccurate.
Yeah, one landed, and so one of the ones where the troll picked him up and fumbled him, the goblin landed on his feet, but that was in the. I can't remember when it was, but by this point it's like
it didn't really matter.
It didn't matter.
Was just trying to get stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, 1 landing, one pass landing, 1 failed landing.
Mm-hmm. 1 lineman died for the rats.
Who got the MVP?
Of course.
Naturally. Had really good dodges though.
What, the whole rat team, or?
No, the goblins had really good dodges. They passed 15 out of 16.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which is incredible. But then their pickups were 57%, which is about right, but their catch was 1 in 4.
Yeah, but this, 1 in 4 is also catching, in tackle zones. Some of,
it wouldn't have all been handoffs, I suppose.
No, they were mostly handoffs, but there were desperation hand off to a goblin who's in a tackle zone, who you're then going to try and throw, happened twice, I think. So
fair enough.
Yeah, of those catches. Wait. Yeah, so two of the throw teammates were fumbles. One of them landed, I think. Is there a land up? Oh, it's not on this next page.
We're not late, Rob Top. We're on call night time.
Yeah. Well, we've got one more game. We can do it in 3 minutes. It's easy. So yeah, 4 catches. One of them was a kickoff. One of them was a handoff in tackles, like multiple tackle zones.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah, 4-0. Not much you can do about that. Rough game. And the Rats leveled up the Mighty Blow piling on blitzer with 5 Kaz. So that's.
Has he got claw?
Well, it's either
5 Kaz. Wow.
Well, I guess you're either going for tackle.
Claw or tackle.
Claw or tackle. Those are the 2 choices, right?
I think so.
And a block gutter runner. So I'd give him sidestep. Is my. I like to build.
I'd like to do sidestep.
Yeah, I like the block, sidestep, whatever. Some people like block sure hands, but that's usually if you don't have a thrower. So because there's a thrower there, that's more reason to get sidestep, in my opinion.
Yeah, I normally like to have a thrower.
Yeah. And Gruff, running late. Oh, like constant, like my life is running late. It's no rush. But yeah,
more abuse.
Yeah, so tackle for the Storm Vermin and sidestep for the Gutter Runner, as expected.
Yep.
Okay, last game, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did the Rats have any levels? I don't think they did.
Goblins.
Goblins.
Did not.
Goblins, okay, yeah. Just one dead player. And MVP went to Bomber Dribble Snot. Sad times. All right, so the last game was between, he says, Sevtek's Necromantic and Eliod's Rowdy Vanity Passers who never Vanity Pass.
Who aren't so rowdy and don't Vanity Pass.
Yeah, no, they were the least rowdy and literally never Vanity Passed in this game either.
Reliable occasional passes.
Yeah, so they did pass, but the passes were, were for important strategic reasons, and less. Let's just get one more SPP on this player, right? Wait! We missed the what's the word? The predictions for the third game. So
I think some people got that one right.
Yeah, actually,
some people. I think everyone but me.
No, not that many people. Only me, Aldar, and Sevtek thought that the Rats would win. Which is,
I think we might have been fairly light on people voting this week.
Well, it's less than the people who voted for the Eliod game.
One person voted for Goblins, one person voted for draw.
Oh, okay. So Owendor voted for a draw,
and the other 3 people voted. I voted for the draw.
Oh, you voted for the draw. So Owendor voted for the Goblins. Owendor says, "Can I change now?"
It's a little bit late.
Yeah.
You can vote on the next week's ones.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Because I haven't set it up properly yet.
Fair enough.
But anyway,
you will be able to vote on the next week's ones eventually.
I did go for the Rats in this one. And Sevtek went for the Rats. And Aldar went for the Rats. Going up to...
I wanted the Goblins to win, but I couldn't vote for them.
Yeah.
It's too tough.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's it's, as I've said repeatedly, it's the hardest matchup for Goblins, I think. Anyway.
Yeah.
Necro versus High Elves, the rowdy, supposedly Vanity Passers. I do have...
We did get a comment from Sevtek after that game saying there was no mathematical possibility to even get a draw in this game. Yeah.
Well... where are we? So, I'm...
I like Kavuta as well. I had a really good game against him in the first season.
Yeah,
Once I eventually remembered when I played him.
I mean, so other than my slight, should have had more players back to defend the ball thing, I don't he played really well. He does, but as much as you can do as Goblins, he did. It's really hard. It's really hard to judge a coach on their Goblin play because basically it's really hard to win games. It's so hard to win that maybe you do need to do stupid, dangerous things to even get remotely close. But anyway, moving on to the Rowdy Vanity Passers.
Yep. Clip.
Yes, first clip is so it's right at the beginning, and I have titled this clip "I don't know what's happening." So first of all, Sevtech has
2 dice blocks without block.
Well,
defending the ball.
Yes, exactly, and not just that. So and then 181, which is harsh. Oof. But he's got like 3 or 4 players with block who haven't taken any block. Like what was he going to do with the Tomb Guardian? Sorry, the Flesh Golem, and the Guard White, and the 2 werewolves. One of them could have.
Where he pushed one of them, it meant that he couldn't get the second block if the Flesh Golem didn't knock it down.
But the way he blocked straight ahead meant he wasn't getting a second block anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like you should maximize blocks with block. Minimize, like, and what is he trying to level the 2 zombies on the line? I don't get it at all. I don't understand. And then I understand even less.
If I know anything about Necro players, they normally complain that zombies get most of the star player points.
Yeah, so don't punch with zombies if you have other players who you want SPP on.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. Then Eliod builds a cage and blitzes on the left-hand side rather than hitting the player that he's about to try and dodge past. Like, well, I don't understand this logic at all either. Like, he's a good player and he's quite risk averse normally. This does not seem like avoiding risk to me.
No.
Maybe he was.
I think the problem is he's got to stand firm and block, so he's got to commit a lot of players to try and get 2 dice on him. Which I suppose those 2 hadn't done anything, so he could have put those next to him. But then if he didn't knock him down, then he might have made it so that he couldn't get to the ball.
Yeah, but he would have made it so he couldn't get to the ball as much as he couldn't get to the ball when he didn't.
By failing the dodge.
Yeah, like so. Yeah. I don't understand why you don't improve your odds at getting to the ball by hitting the player who's in the way. And then anyway, then Sevtech uses the ball carrier to get an assist on a player with that.
When he's just then moves in a white afterwards.
Yeah, which takes GFI and he's already used the reroll. And at the moment, I'm rocking backwards and forwards on my chair, going, why are you playing like this? This is totally unnecessary. And then Eliod blitzes a zombie when he could hit the ball. Don't understand that either. At this point, I'm shaking my head, going, "What? I don't know why either of these players are playing like this."
Have I been drinking?
I have been drinking. Sure I hadn't been drinking when I took this clip.
Yeah.
And
am I imagining?
Yeah, exactly. It's like this has just been 2 turns of I don't know what's happening. Why are either of these teams playing like this? I literally can't explain 50% of what's happening. Yeah, that zombie has 2 SPP because he has someone in the past. That one with no block, which is from hitting when you don't need to. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's enough confusion, isn't it? Like what?
I don't think I hated Eliod's move of trying to run through with the catcher as much as you do.
Okay.
But if he'd done it step at a time,
and maybe
as soon as he failed the first one and had to use a dodge reroll on the first step.
Yeah.
I think I would have stopped then and just backed out.
I mean, to back out, you had to do another dodge, which would have failed anyway, and that's what you used to reroll.
Yeah.
I mean,
was it a 1 on? He got that one.
Then, yeah, it's Agi 5, so he can dodge 2 tackle zones on a 1. So, like,
he was dodging 2 tackle zones with the second step, wasn't he?
No, it was 1 still. It was a 1, and then it was a it was a 2+2+2+2+2+.
I thought he was going behind the Flesh Golem and the zombie. It's fine.
No, because the middle zombie both down, so there was no zombie next to the Flesh Golem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it hurt my head watching that, and then like trying to make head or tail of what's happening. I would not have played either sides of that game for the first 4 turns. Pretty much every I could have carried that clip on until turn 4, and I would have carried on going, why is Elliot blitzing that person? That is completely pointless. I don't understand. And then I would have said, oh, so you know, why
putting in 4 dodges and the pickup, then the pass, and then the catch, it was a 55% chance without a reroll or 78% chance with a reroll to do those. To do what he looked like he was trying there.
Really?
Yeah. 4 2+ dodges, a pickup, a pass, and a catch with catch.
And intercept. Don't forget the intercept.
Oh yeah.
And the pass was a 3+. I think. But anyway.
Yeah. Fair enough. I might have made that a little bit easier, but it was still fairly decent odds.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. But how much better would it have been if you'd have hit the flesh column? You know, if you'd have hit the flesh column and passed it back, you could have easily had a cage. You could have had no interception. You could have, so you go for the blitz. You make sure you don't cover the squares you were dodging through. If it fails, you have to dodge out the person who's blitzing. But the blitzer had he had a wrestle player as well, so he could have wrestled.
I think I'm thinking of it from the fact that that's where he started. That I'm looking at it from. I suppose he would have planned to have done all of that from the very start of the turn. I was only looking at it from the point of he's already set up that stuff over there. Let's get the ball over to them.
Yeah, but next
he could have set it up better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Gruff says hello. Hey, Gruff.
Hi, Gruff.
And does that mean your game has finished in UKBBL? Not that
you mentioned
No. Gruff is. Oh yeah. No, I'm not that late.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No. Gruff and I are vying for top place in UKBBL. And when I say vying, it's the last game of the week, and he's playing Nurgle, and he's 7 touchdowns behind me. So I need to lose tomorrow, and he'd need to win, and the touchdown difference to change by 7 touchdowns.
Wow.
For him to overtake me. But I hope he wins. But I hope I win too, or draw. But anyway. Where was I? Oh yes, next clip. Clip 2.
Oh, second clip. Okay.
Yep, this is another 3-clip one. So this is the point. Turn 5. The Necro are still semi-potatoing. Now I've got to admit, when I was first looking at this, I didn't notice that the white had diving tackle, and I think the diving tackle white did have an effect on this play choice a bit. And maybe it did have effects earlier. So that one dice is a terrible idea, except for the fact that white
diving
tackle, yeah. And now you have a wrestle, hit on the ball.
Dodge wrestle player that can get out.
Yeah, exactly. And why
Which wasn't needed in the end, but yep.
Yeah, why this didn't happen 4 turns ago, I'm still not quite certain about. Or 3 turns ago, or 2 turns ago, or 1 turn ago. Don't know. But there you go. Eliod finally turns the ball over and gets it. And
it's fairly safe.
Yeah, and makes a block with a loner that's not important, and he doesn't use the reroll. And by the way, Necro have used all their rerolls. Yeah, and they do have. It's worth pointing out they do have a wizard as well. I
think we saw the Necro use 2 of their rerolls on the first 2 turns.
Yeah. So this is one of the games where one of the teams just used all their rerolls.
Explain how my friend used to play Necro.
Yeah, and
I think he went up to 5 rerolls in the end and managed to use all 5 of them in the first 5 turns each time.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, not a fan.
Yeah, reroll management is an important part of Blood Bowl. And just save 1 past turn 4 at least, at the very least. Using all 3 in your first 3 turns, I do not agree with. Okay, if you've used 2 of them, stop doing risky things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only do.
Calm down.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like the first 1 or 2 were necessary. Like one was a ball pickup when the elves were threatening. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh yeah, so the
first one was the 1 in 81.
1 in 81. Then having to pick up when the ball was being threatened. Although the 1 in 81 was because
it was 1 in 81 that you didn't need to do.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been a 1 in 36 that was successful instead. Yeah. And basically, I showed enough that I could have probably just kept one long clip. But essentially, here is a few moments later when the first of the passes has happened. There were 3. Yep. I think there were 2 or 3 passes in this game, and they were both to throw to a player who could then run away from almost the rest of the opposition, which kind of gives you a hint as to what the score was. Lightning Bolt was a 1, so complete waste. And on the other hand, maybe it was a mistake for Eliod to stand a player on the sideline. I mean, he was safe there. He's far enough away that he's not going to get blitzed. But if that Lightning Bolt could have scattered out and then suddenly the Necro are back in it again.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have to make the werewolf make a 2 GFI. Hey, Dimmy! Make 2 GFIs and a dodge blitz to get a 1 die on a blodger than standing next to the sideline and getting wizarded.
No, that makes sense.
As it was, this is one of those turns where the Necro roll like 3 or 4 ones.
What they need.
Well, no, the opposite.
Oh, no.
3 or 4 ones. A 1 on the wizard and a 1 on the GFI. And that stun means that there's, again, no one anywhere near the player with the ball. So turn 7, the High Elves just wander to the goal line and can feel completely safe stalling out to turn 8.
Nice place to be, I suppose.
By the way, it's turn 7. If you are a team that are supposed to be doing rowdy vanity passes, you could have dodged a player out and made a vanity pass, but no. And essentially it carried on in the same vein for Eliod for the rest of the game, except he actually started blitzing the ball in the second half. So he scored, and then he did a 2-turn. Even though the Necro got a perfect D, Eliod still fairly easily picked up the ball and made a red carpet. I like to call it a red carpet screen, where you make a line down one side, put a player who's within scoring range behind that screen of players down one side, and then get the ball to him. 3-0, and it could have been 4-0 if Eliod hadn't 1 in 81 on the last turn. So,
wow.
It was 1-0 in the first half. It was 2-0 turn 10, and it was.
And then the game just got away from him.
And then it was the Necro didn't even do less caging because they weren't caging that much, but they left the ball open, and Eliod actually went to hit the ball, and then got the ball away and made. I think he made 3 passes, and each pass was he made 2 passes, and each pass was throw the ball to the blitzer he wants to score on and run so that only a werewolf can reach you, and it's with 2 GFIs, and I think in 1 case, like it was bad times for the Necro. They totally got ran around. No control whatsoever. Eliod, look at that.
Fair enough.
But again, can I just say one more time? No vanity passing, no rowdiness, and I am, so disappointed that that you name your team Rowdy Vanity Passers and literally not do any vanity passing whatsoever. Like the first.
To get you off of this topic briefly, Dimmy did just say nice MVP because that going to the catch was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good MVP, right? Fine.
As we said, we were going to do this in 3 minutes, 20 minutes ago.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, so yes, the MVP does mean that the wrestle dodge catcher levels up. Tackle.
Yep.
Or strip.
I like tackle. Strip wouldn't be bad. Yeah. But I think I prefer tackle personally, just because it's good against most teams.
Yeah, but basically, most so tackle being good against players where you're trying to hit them, even whether you're not when you're not
when they haven't got the ball.
When they haven't got the ball, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
That will.
But yeah, both completions made by the Agi 5 as well, which is worth pointing out.
Us.
But yeah. Not rowdy.
That's not particularly rowdy, no.
Yeah, no, not rowdy at all. The opposite of rowdy. And I did mention I actually went on Eliod's stream when he was playing CCL and bitched to him about it. In case you think this is purely only on my stream, I have actually started typing into his chat.
Stalking him.
Yeah. Why is your team called the Rowdy Vanity Passes? You've done 0 Vanity Passes. Anyway, he went for strip.
Yep.
Which maybe that's to do with who he's playing next. I don't know.
Well, we're about to talk about that, aren't we?
Exactly, we are indeed.
No neck levels for the necro.
No necro levels. So who went for Eliod winning? Almost everyone.
Yep.
I think, was there someone who didn't? Sevtech didn't. So it was just it was me. Yay, 7. Did you actually go? Okay.
He's a high up.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Aldar did as well. So Aldar saying he had a bad week. He got 2 results, and that's as much as anyone else got as well.
That's the best week.
Yeah, exactly. And Owendor got 1 as well. Okay. So next,
Sevtech for voting for himself, though.
Say that again.
You can't blame Sevtech for voting for himself.
No, of course not.
Always a solid choice.
But Eliod's a good player. I probably would vote for him. Just saying. Okay, upcoming games, and I have my. No, I don't. No, I haven't done that thing yet. So let's see. So Big Green War Machine, the Orcs against Ultimate Evil Alliance, the Sevtech's Necro. Who do you think is going to win that? Their TV's fairly close.
I think I'm going to go for the Orcs on this one.
Orcs.
They showed some very solid defense from what we spoke about earlier in the last game. Whereas there was a fair, in the clips that we saw of the Necro, there was some very risky moves.
See,
being made.
That might be a reason why the Necro might win.
But if they put up a solid defense that's taking those things potentially into account, they might put the ball in a position of danger.
I'm going to go for another draw, though, because, as I said, I think the Orcs defended well, but didn't attack very well.
I thought about that. But now I'm quite happy with the Orc win.
I haven't yet put down all the icons on the thing yet. Wait a second. Region. And actually, this doesn't help me anyway, because whatever I do, I can't actually record my own things doing that. So, all right. So I'm going for draw.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to do the scribble this time? Then?
I'm scribbling already. No, the pause was me scribbling, and you're going for the necro.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Orc.
Orc.
Yep, Orcs.
Okay, so my scribble now has a scribbled out S.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Next is the High Elves against Goblins. Now, you are going to have trouble deciding this because your 2 favourite teams are High Elves and Goblins, right?
Pretty much, yep.
You're basically going to have to actually use reason.
I'm going to go for Eliod and the High Elves.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the reasonable choice.
Yeah, I think so too. As much as I would love the Goblins to win, it would be immensely amusing as well if the unbeaten team so far get beaten by the Goblins. That would be, a real feather in the Goblins' cap as well. I'd be very happy if that happened. Don't think
I would be, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's not.
Although they are going to get quite a lot of inducements.
Not of course, because there's
2 players missing.
Elliot has 2 on TV again, so he's actually probably going to go up to 1 player, but so 50 down, 13 plus 140 is so 1370.
Yeah, that seems right. Or it's close enough. So 300k. So he's actually got a little bit more to play with this time. He won't necessarily have to take the bomber.
Well, but he's not at home either, so no Nuffle.
Oh.
So.
Okay, that kind of counteracts some of that.
Yeah. So.
Maybe he'll actually spend some of his money if he's still got some. Oh, he's only got 80k now. Don't know. Have to see. Yeah, definitely lots of bribes. Whatever happens, there'll be lots of bribes.
I'd like to see the bomber fired from this team, because, like, he's not using the bomber at all. Like in the last 2 games, the bombers come on for turn 7 and nothing else, type thing. You know.
What's he got? Vanity passes. He's got 2 elf teams in a row.
Yeah.
The bombers are net loss against those guys.
Yeah. Like, it's better to have a goblin there, because then the goblin can't be sent off at the end of the drive.
Plus, if he really wants a bomber, he normally ends up getting bomber dribble snot anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I like the bomber because I think it's a fun piece, but at the same time, I would argue to probably get rid of him at this point, sadly.
Yeah. I mean,
no star player points.
He is fun, and there is that thing with goblins where
you want to get Hail Mary.
The crazy dice play sometimes wins you it, and like sometimes the bomber throwing a random bomb and catching someone on the ground is enough to turn the game for you.
Yep.
But that doesn't happen that much, and the number of games where he's been down a lot of players and the bomber's just been a player to get sent off, I don't like it.
With it being this early and him having a reasonable team value, I don't think he's going to get enough inducements to be able to get anything other than secret weapons, really. So having more on his team to start with isn't really a great idea.
Yeah. Erwindor says, or blow himself up, which is essentially like bombers and chainsaws tend to attract ones like no one's business. The first die roll that any bomber or chainsaw makes is usually a 1, and then they only actually have a good effect on the game if you have a bribe and they survive. You know, but bribes win. Bribes win the game. You know.
Yeah.
And lots of goblins.
I can see him getting rid of the bombardier as a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think I feel like he's playing goblins for fun, and having all 3 secret weapons is part of the fun.
Yeah.
As painful as that makes second halves.
Oh, it really does.
Anyway, next we have the Rats against the Pro Elves.
That could be a fun one.
Yeah, Rats against Pro Elves is always fun.
Slightly less fun for the Pro Elves now that the Mighty Blow piling on guys got tackle.
Yeah, so that might have...
considerably less fun probably for the Pro Elves now that that's happened.
Yeah. And the Rats do have 12 players and 20 TV more than Aldar's team.
Yep.
So
I don't think I've gone Rat yet, so I'm going to go Rats.
The Rats really should win. I'm gonna pay a compliment to Aldar and his compliment reel, but I think he's a better coach. But I think Tackle Pom.
That's horrible.
Against 11 Pro Elves is problematic, and I think Illusion is a good enough rat coach who can take advantage. It is tough though. I wouldn't.
You thinking about changing your mind?
I haven't actually said if I said what I'm going for yet.
Oh, you haven't actually. No. You've implied that you're going Rats. You haven't actually said it yet.
No. I've said that I think the Rats have a strong Like, I wouldn't be surprised. This is basically going to be a shootout, isn't it? Like, both teams want to knock the ball free and will try hard to do so.
Yep.
I could see it being a shootout that ends up being a draw, but I think the Rats have it. You're right. Yeah, I'm going to vote for the Rats. But it's like
I think the Rats have. They've got that tackle piling on Palmer.
Yeah.
They've got they've got a strip ball, got a runner.
But I also think Aldar might be a better coach than Illusion.
Yeah.
So there is that, like, how much effect does a good coach have on a matchup?
You see, I'm going into this fairly blind because I don't know a huge amount about either of the two coaches. So,
so it's a combination of how much better is one team than the other, and how much better is one coach than the other. And I think they actually meet fairly close to the middle. So I think the Rat team is, slightly better, and I think Aldar is a slightly better coach. And I kind of want to vote for a draw, but I don't. I think a draw is the least likely outcome. Whatever happens, I think it's not going to be a draw. And if I have to choose, I'm going to go for the Rats. And Owendor says he's nice to talk with, Kuvita, or however you pronounce the Goblin coach. And
yeah,
almost all Goblin coaches are. In fact,
I had a chat with him when he was playing Skaven a few seasons ago. Mm-hmm. It was a good game, a lot of fun.
To be fair, most people in Blood Bowl, I think, are generally nice, right?
I think if you're actually chatting with them in Thingy, then maybe not through the game chat in certain formats.
Like, it's overplayed a little bit. I think there's a lot of people who haven't experienced things like Dota or like big online computer games, who go, oh my god, COL is a cesspool of filth and people being rude and stuff. It's like,
I think it just is compared to organized leagues.
Yeah, like the number of times I've actually encountered someone being like properly toxic in any Blood Bowl game is tiny in thousands of games.
It's also just that I think it's also when you're just like, oh, this is rough, and complaining a little bit. Whereas if you did it in person, you wouldn't do it as much, or it'd be seen more joking and stuff. It doesn't come across as well in text form.
There is that. Yeah, you should always read all texts as if they're more like less bad than you first assume, because it's really hard to read into them, isn't it? But yeah. Okay.
So we both went Rats.
Yeah, we both going for Rats, which leaves the CD Warriors against the Bone Idols. Owendor's Chorfs against Drythorn's Undead. And the Chorfs are going to have a bit of inducements. 80, 160. So they're going to have 220 inducements. Against an 11-man Undead team.
Well, they're not getting Grashnak again, sadly.
No, definitely not. Oh, does Drythorn have? Oh, Drythorn has 200k of gold.
Oh, right, okay. He's getting less then.
Well, he might be getting less. Is it time to get the 4th ghoul?
I honestly don't know with Undead.
Like, I'd want to have more than 11 players, especially against, Chorfs with
a couple of Mighty Blow.
Yeah, exactly.
And a dirty player.
And the extra movement would really help, especially the way Drythorn plays. I'd totally be getting a ghoul.
I think for Owendor, probably like a Hobgoblin and a bribe. So that he's got that sub and a bribe to keep the dirty player on.
Yeah, he does have a dirty player now, so...
He does have a dirty player.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not mentioning the normal option of taking a light Hobgoblin with dirty player.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Oh, yeah, Merc blocker. Good call.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Him. Yep.
That's well, yeah, no. So yeah, Merc, blocker, and bribe. Then you have a spare player for the fouling and the bribe, and you have 6 blockers.
That would put you up to 6, yeah.
Yeah. And
do you shell out the extra to give him a skill like guard?
No. For a start,
Probably not.
he doesn't have the money. He,
no.
You know, he's.
You couldn't do that and have a bribe, I suppose.
No.
And the bribe is probably better, assuming he can afford that. Depending on what the Bone Idol spend.
Yeah, that's true. So if Bone Idol do get a ghoul, he'll get a bit more. I still wouldn't get a bribe. Still wouldn't get a skill.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
That's fair.
Maybe guard. Oh no, it's hard.
I don't think having guard on it would be terrible, because it's more of a supportive role to get your actual players to get points and levels up.
Yeah, Merc blocker is definitely the best idea.
Yeah.
Now, who's actually going to win though? I am going to go for a draw.
Damn it!
You took too long. You should have said.
Yeah, I know. I should have just jumped straight in there. I'll go with the Chorfs. I don't normally vote Chorf. Yeah, I'll go with Erwindor. He's in the chat. He's been talking to us.
Erwindor says he hasn't had a draw yet, so you know.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah, indeed. And
I'll go with Erwindor.
And just to you know, so everyone can see the beautiful you know, note taking. Erwindor says thanks. There we are. Here's what I'm about to send to Spoon. Boom.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is the end of 5G.
Yep.
Only
it's nowhere near as confusing this season as it was last season when we had 3 of us in the chat quite regularly.
See,
I'm sure at times when we had 3 of us in the chat and you sent me those, then sometimes you changed the initial of the person halfway through.
I don't. Well, I might know. So there was definitely one where I used my real name rather than my, you know, online.
That might have been the one.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Just suddenly got really confusing. Peeling back the curtain.
Yeah, I was giggling at that. Yeah.
I like that, Gruff.
I mean, there is no professionalism, and there's, you know, there's a very yeah. There might be a very small lace curtain that obscures some of the worst unprofessionally.
The worst crimes against streaming.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know,
right.
You know, we're going for humour rather than you know, than trying to be all professional and stuff.
Humour, and apparently this week we're getting really annoyed with all of the coaches.
Oh, was I? Do you think I was a bit more, you know,
more critical this week?
More critical than normal.
Yep.
Okay. It might see this. This is also what happens.
We finished one of the 2,
the
smaller one.
Oh, hey! Congratulations, Gruff. I just need to lose by 5 touchdowns, and you and only one other person have a chance to top the division. Congratulations. Did you kill the Strength 5 leaping Chaos Warrior?
Well, I don't like that sentence.
I thought you'd like it. I thought you'd, you know, appreciate that. It's a sentence you don't get to say about many teams.
No, definitely not. Although, once it gets very long legs, it can be quite fun.
Yeah, it's like it's. Wait, is it already? It might be Blodge. Is it Blodge as well? I forget if it's Blodge and Leap. I can't remember what it's got.
Hadji 5, Rack, or Leap Pestigore. I don't like that either.
Yeah. I'd like to
yes, I can see it being useful.
Yeah. But how can you not like... Oh, no, yeah, sorry. Wait. Is it... Oh, well, whatever.
Blodge, Leap, 25, Hadji 4. Jesus.
Yeah. There you
go. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's only remaining skill. It's his legend skill, and it's on like 120 or something. But yeah.
I suppose with Hadji 4, do you even take the very long legs? Do you take something like tackle or something?
Well, leaps are still 3+s, and very long legs makes it a 2+ at least.
2+. But then tackle would make it better once you get into the cage if you're doing it to jump into cages.
I mean, you know, strength 5 is usually doing enough.
It gives you 2 dice normally.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'd go very long legs just because it's funny as well.
Yeah, I would quite like to see the see whether or not they do change the model for it as well.
It doesn't. I can tell you now. Sorry.
Well, that's ruined that dream.
Wait.
Oh, that's quite sad.
Lol. Oh god damn. Anyway, I'm glad I've played you already, Gruff. Although I guess we'll see each other in the Premiership. I'd like to point out that all these talking about players is in UKBBL, which is a non-eternal league. So you know the E in Rebel.
Oh, you said non-competitive then.
No. I didn't mean that at all. It is very competitive. It's one of the 3rd or 4th biggest English-speaking leagues, I think.
Ah, cool.
But anyway, they have retirement turned on, and still you get these disgusting chaos players. He says with his he says with his Agi 6 gutter runner. Anyway,
that's also fairly disgusting. Should we actually move on to 3C?
Yes.
Only 40 minutes after planned time.
Yes, we should do at some point. This should be quicker because I've only watched 2 of these games and I have made only clips from one of them. Yeah.
You watched 2 and participated in 1?
No,
or the one you
no.
one of the 2 you've seen.
I'm counting the one I participated in as one I've seen. I have not taken any clips from that because I think, again, much like the Goblin game, I'm going to sum it up rather quickly, and I can't think of any, any good clippable bits from what happens.
Fair enough. So should we start with game 1 then?
Yeah, game 1 I have got clips of. Woo! In fact, I've got 3. So the first clip is labelled "Why It's a Bad Idea to Put Chorfs on the Line." I do not like putting good players on the line for LOS hits. I would much rather put, a 40 TV Hobgoblin. It might require 10-10 or even possibly 9-10 or 10-9 to remove them, but it does happen, and it's not worth the risk, in my opinion. I'd much rather play with 1 less Hobgoblin or 2 less Hobgoblins.
Yeah, that was an 11-10 to get rid of a Mighty Blow Guard guy.
Yeah. Which is, and I think the Chorfs lost another Chorf the turn after. So 2 Chorfs were badly hurt by at least turn 3, maybe 4. And then another Chorf KO'd itself, standing up and doing a GFI. So there were 3 Chorfs who removed themselves in the Lizard Drive before we get to the next bit, which starts in the Chorf turn 4. There we are. In fact, turn 4, and there you can see there are 3 Chorfs off on the sidelines. Wow. And I'd like to point out the Lizards have a wizard, and the Chorfs do a 4-man or +4 foul, +5 foul. And so the Lizards fireball the 6 players. Now,
so the attrition fireball isn't normally a great idea.
It's a terrible idea. It's worse than putting Chorfs on the line. But those 2 things together are both equally bad.
I don't think he was in that much. I suppose it helped him stall for longer.
He didn't. No, and he didn't even stall that long.
He didn't need that much more help to stall for longer.
I mean,
it knocked over 2 of the Hobgoblins, didn't it? Or
it knocked over 5 of the 6 players underneath it. There was one resist out of 5, and it stunned the Bull Centaur and 2 Hobgoblins. So it broke armor on 3 out of the 5 it knocked down.
Still pretty impressive, but
by turn 6, that's almost no effect, right?
Yeah.
And he scores on turn 6. He could have stalled longer if that was, part of the purpose.
I assumed that was his aim, that he was doing the attrition fireball so he could get another couple of turns of stalling to only give the Chorfs 2, maybe 3 turns to score back.
He was only doing the attrition fireball to get attrition to remove players because Maybe because 3 Chorfs had already removed themselves, and he was hoping that a bit more removal would make the rest of the game really easy, and then he could turn them over and keep scoring and get a big advantage. I have a feeling, has he not?
He does need more levels because
He's
like Div 5. He's a one-season team compared to a lot of the other teams in this div.
Yeah,
Been
he
around
is.
for a while.
And like lizards are really hard to level, and it gets harder and harder the higher you go. But
and if
like,
he managed to knock out a couple of those, then he could have tried handing off to the Saurus maybe or something.
He was in such a safe position; he could have handed off to Saurus in this drive, easily. Like,
in fact, actually, that strength up one could have ran down and been screened off even without knocking those guys over.
Do you think he did it? No.
What, did he try to do the handoff?
No, he did not. He scored on a king skink. You know.
You'd already said that he scored on turn 5 or 6 anyway.
Yeah. He should have tried to hand off to a Saurus. He should have tried to level the Saurus up.
Well, the strength 6 one got the MVP and is only 2 star player points away. If he'd scored with him, that would have been blocked finally.
Yeah.
To make it really dangerous.
So yeah, I do not understand either. I don't like so the putting players the putting the Chorfs on the line thing is definitely an argument that's had quite a lot in I'm pretty sure in the Chorf Discord and in other places as well, where you have higher armor players and lower armor players. That kind of balancing up of decision making, where you go, should this player be on the line or not, is a hard choice. Yeah. But I do not like the risk of losing a Chorf has so much bigger effect on the game than the risk of losing a Hobgoblin. I'd rather twice the chance of losing a Hobgoblin or more than the chance of losing a good Chorf. That
I suppose against the Lizards as well, with the amount of strength they've got, it's not even going to force them to put them many more players on the line.
Owendor says the Chorf on the LOS must be counted what is against them. You're right. If it's against the Claw team, you definitely don't do it, and it's stupid. Yeah. In this case, it's an argument to be had, but I still think it's generally a bad idea. And that is,
it's a no Mighty Blow Lizard team.
They've got Crocs.
Oh yeah, Crocs. Sorry, I always forget.
And Mighty Blow has an effect, but there's always that chance of 10 into 10, or whatever.
It's true.
Yeah.
Although looking at the result, I think even though they won the game, I think the Lizards came out much worse.
So, as you mentioned that, I think you're preempting my last clip of the game.
Show me next.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Which this is broadly visually very similar to what happened when the Hobgoblins tried to do their drive, which is essentially they ran to the LOS and then got bogged down in lizards.
This looks like the Undead versus Orcs game.
Yeah, exactly. Except the lizards are a touchdown ahead. So, it's better for the lizards for this game to be like this. And then this happens.
Oof.
Which obviously is bad. And he's still got his Apo.
Traditional Apo.
But he uses the Apo and gets dead into dead. And that's like a block. I think is that his only break tackle? It's his only break tackle. And I really like break tackle on Sauruses. Yeah, it makes so much difference to how well you can defend.
Wow.
But yeah, that's 27 SPP gone in that one death there. On the other hand, it could have been 30 SPP gone because he could have tried to hand off and score onto him with one. Anyway.
It would have been the strength 6 one that would have scored.
But even so,
should have been trying to score with.
Yeah, that would have been far better. But no.
Oh well.
Indeed. 2 Kaz and MVP falling. Oh, actually, no, the Kaz didn't fall nicely, but the MVP fell nicely. Touchdown on the skink, who should have handed off. If you're playing lizards and you're significantly ahead in your drive, hand off to Saurus. Totally worth it. I
imagine he must have done that in the past, surely.
No, I think I think what this is a player a coach who coaches well to win, but doesn't realise that sometimes once you've won, you should be trying to gain more of a team advantage. In my opinion.
The block guard Saurus has scored 3 touchdowns. One of the other ones has scored 1.
So he has scored.
One scored 1. He scored the odd ones here and there with them. He scored like 5 touchdowns with Saurus.
He was definitely far enough ahead that he could have done a handoff. I don't know why he didn't. But fine, if he does in the past. Maybe he's got too much.
Especially after the attrition fireball attempt.
Yeah.
When it knocked them all down.
Yeah.
If he'd done the attrition fireball, then ran the Saurus forwards to try and hand off to him.
Yeah, it would have been.
I don't think I would have hated it as much.
No.
But, yeah. It's a strange one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough place for him getting promoted up to Div 3 when Lizards really need the time to get some more skills.
Yeah, stop trying to win. Lose some games, stay in, or drop down to Div 4, and
Yeah.
Like this team have done quite well in terms of their actual,
Well, they must have been in at least Challengers Cup to get up to Div 3.
Yeah, they're in 4th place now.
Yeah.
With a team that's a few hundred TV below everyone else.
Yeah. I think when we were talking about it to start with, we thought they were going to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they're top 4.
Yeah. Upme's a very good coach.
Yeah.
Maybe he sees something I don't see when he's not handing off, but I think he should have been handing off at that point. Anyway, enough of that.
Yep.
No levels. So.
Wow.
No.
I suppose we're Div 3 now, so we're not expecting levels every game.
No, although they do have a lot of players that are on 0, that are on low SPP and could have leveled. Would have been better to have leveled. Oh, is that the clip still playing? I never turned the clip off.
Yeah, you've just put on the killing a Saurus clip.
Yeah, on repeat forever.
For those of you that hate lizards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so the next game of the before that was going to be who actually predicted that, and only one person predicted that Upme would win that game.
Yep, it was pretty impressive.
Can you guess who it was?
I sent you the message.
Okay, do you know the connection? Why is it funny that it's them?
No, I don't.
Because that's Bloodhorse, the Chorf team, who said that the Lizards were going to win that game. So the only person who thought that that the Lizards would win was
the Chorf player.
The Chorf player, Riff Cannon.
I think I'm still struggling with the fact that I carry on thinking he's playing Chaos.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep on mixing up Riff Cannon's Bloodhorse and the Byzantine Bashers.
Oh, okay. I thought it was not because Riff did play Chaos at some point in the past or something.
I would not know.
No. All right. Anyway, the next game was my game against Chug Man Milk and his Underworld.
Hero.
Say that again.
The People's Hero, Jugman Milk.
Oh, yeah. Of possibly one of the best usernames in Blood Bowl at all.
I'm calling him the People's Hero because he's playing Underworld in Div 3.
Yeah. He's he's also known as Chavman Milk in other places, so
I've seen that as well.
Yeah. And he has some great team and player names in various leagues. Essentially, this is the game. I didn't take any clips because I couldn't think of anything clip worthy, but I started removing players, almost all KOs.
It gets them out of the way.
Yeah, gets them out of the way, and he didn't pressure the ball at all. So the rowdy vanity passers and their no vanity passes. I did 8 vanity passes in this game against the Undead. They were all vanity. None of them were required in any way whatsoever for positioning purposes.
Was this entirely just because of how annoyed you are at Eliod?
No, but it
so that you can send him clips that this is how you vanity pass. Do this.
I'd also like to point out that other than dive and catch, my Kislev have literally no ball control skills. no pass, no catch, no sure hands. So,
what more do you need?
So, Agi 4 and maybe a slightly reduced chance of losing the ball when it's inaccurate. Although,
apologies, I just choked slightly there when I saw who it was that did most of those completions.
Why? Go on, tell me. What's
it was Napoleon, the Agi up lineman.
Oh yeah, of course. Well,
6 of them.
Well, yeah, like
it's the volume more than anything else. It's the fact that it's 6.
Well, like he got Agi up. That makes him a good player. I need to get him so he actually has skills that keep him alive. So
before he dies,
yeah, get six vanity passes and a touchdown. And the touchdown was a vanity touchdown. Like it involved me having to do things to get him into position where he wasn't. Well, like I rolled extra dice to get that many SPP on one player. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was basically passing to diving catch players. Someone said so. I bitched.
Oh, I've just seen what you've done.
What?
Oh, I don't like it.
What don't you like? What?
Who you hurt on the other team?
Oh yeah, yes, no. Okay, well we'll get to that in a second. Maybe I should have clipped that. That was sad, but I've not shown it yet onto the stream, so we'll keep that as a surprise.
Yep.
I bitched on Eliod's stream about him doing no vanity passes in the last game, and having done a total of 2, 1, and 2 passes on his team that's called the Rowdy Vanity Passes. When I do 8 vanity passes with a team with no thingies, and someone said you've got diving catch. Diving catch is a ball control skill. If it's inaccurate, it's less likely to scatter. And I worked out the maths, but in my anger just now, I've realised I was throwing with Agi 4. There are no inaccurate passes. Diving catch doesn't help whatsoever for any of these vanity passes. It's basically just like vanity passes between 2 Agi 4 players.
If you misclick, maybe. Or if you're only one square apart, so that you're actually just doing the proper vanity passes where you're not even throwing it any distance.
No, you can't. Yeah, diving catch doesn't work on bounces.
Can you not catch a fumble?
No.
Right, fair enough.
No, only passes.
That doesn't count as a pass.
No.
Fair enough.
So there.
Okay.
So diving catch doesn't help at all. Unless.
Oh yeah, you got completions only with catches. Fair enough then. I'll shut up on that point now.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, and also the scoring on the blitzer who was on 3 SPP also was a little bit, vanity, let's say. But essentially, he never pressured the ball in the first quarter of the game.
Yep.
And by turn 4 or 5, so many players had been KO'd that there was no threat to me anywhere at all. It became ridiculous.
Yeah, wow. 8 KOs.
Yeah.
And 2 casualties.
No,
4 casualties.
Yeah. But no, like only one of the casualties was in the first half, or even in the first 3 quarters, right? So most of those casualties came later on. But I was bullying him severely after turn 4 or 5.
Looking at his stats, 8 wake-ups after KO out of 8 is pretty impressive.
So they all woke up, they all came back, but he, lost enough players.
He was just constantly down players.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't look like he was doing much back. Yeah,
no, he did bugger all. So I was very lucky in that he didn't play, he constantly blitzed with Claw Mighty Blow, obviously, because you should. He was concerned about leaving the players in fouling range, so never piled on, or at least almost. I don't think he piled on. Maybe piled on once or twice, and as soon as he piled on, I went in for a foul. Basically, if I could, I had a dirty player, I had a spare player, I was ready to foul him, and he knew it, so he didn't go all in with the killing. And I feel like he either should have pressured me more, or he should have gone a bit more all in with killing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yes,
maybe he heard talking about the fact that you were going to foul anyone that went on the floor.
Yeah,
which I suppose everyone should be doing, really.
Yeah, Yes, I killed the claw goblin, and I have apologised in the underworld server since. You know, Rob and Spoon, you're not the only two people who, you know, I am disappointed myself that this happened.
I'm also disappointed we haven't got a memorial video about this.
No, like, I have a feeling it wasn't even like it wasn't my killer or anything. It was just a pushing a player away with another player. One of the block players, but like he's got wrestle, so it's not even that big a deal. But yeah, I am.
Block lineman got a casualty.
Yeah.
And Kermit got a couple.
Yeah, no, it was the block lineman, and it was basically he was in contact, and he was being pushed away so that I could build a screen, and he died.
So is this when we have a minute's silence, or is that not very good viewing?
Well, I mean, we are an hour late into this recap.
Yeah, we are. We probably don't have a minute to spare.
On the other hand, we're an hour late, so maybe a minute is, you know, maybe I can't complain too much about a minute.
We'll send out a. Do you know roughly what time you played that game? We can find out, can't we?
What we're gonna send out a ping to everyone for a memorial minute silence next week.
Yeah, a week after.
Yeah, it was not a foul kill, no, Rob. It was literally just a push.
6:20.
Yeah, okay, fine.
When the game started, got to try and remember to send a ping out to all of 3C.
Okay, I'll totally forget. I'm going to set myself a reminder now. He lies. Anyway,
the important thing is, have you claimed the bounty?
Oh yeah. No, I haven't done that yet. No, I remember. I asked about it. Someone said there is a bounty, but no, I've not claimed it because I couldn't remember where the link for the bounty. Does anyone have a link for the bounty board? Post it now.
Yeah.
Cool. And you know, and also Chug was commenting in the Underworld Discord about how he'll be very sad if I kill the thrower. He wasn't specific about which thrower. I assume the one that rolled plus strength last game. Thank you, Graf. Oh, that's a very complicated link. Excellent. Anyway, yeah, I could have worked that out. Maybe. I
was going to Reddit to actually find it because it's on the Reddit page.
Yeah. Oh.
It's on the Rebel site that you're using. You see, I looked on there. And
he's on the.
Yeah.
Whatever. Wait a second. Well,
oh yeah.
Has it been done already?
I don't think so. I
can't see it. Wait a second. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong team. That's why. God damn, it's made a lot harder by the fact that there's an infinite number of 3C.
Who was he? Was Get Glot or
No, he was Death Heated. No, there is no, or at least not.
Oh wow!
Is it all in order?
Yeah, should be.
Oh, it's been done already. Someone did it for me. Thank you.
Oh right, fair enough.
Whoever did that.
Nice.
Cool. But yes, anyway. Yep. I wish I hadn't killed him. I would have preferred to have killed so many other
blitzers.
Of the players, yeah.
Oh no, you're not going to play him again now this season.
No, but
surely you want them to be there to bother the rest of the division.
You still like killing players. Jeez, it's Blood Bowl. You're supposed to kill people, especially like legends need to die. So Get Got needs to die. I would have very happily I would have found it immensely amusing if I killed Black Quarterback II directly after he gets his strength up as well. But anyway.
Yep.
I was trying to see if it was actually visible on the top. It's not there now, so it's fine.
Right.
Anyway.
It's only if you're on the front page.
Yeah. All right.
If you're on the front page, there's a picture of like a bag of money.
So who thought I would win? Almost no one.
Quite a few people.
That's very kind of you, XCAM, Ravers, and G-Cell. And obviously, I actually voted for myself as well. Even like the game went a lot better than I expected. As is another thing I've not said yet that I should. I expected that to be a really tough game where I lose a lot of players. Maybe pick off the odd good skate rat player and then slowly whittled them down. But actually, because he didn't put any pressure in the first half, really, it was just and I removed too many players. It was too easy.
So what? 4 people thought it was going to be you. 4 people thought it was going to be a draw, and 2 people thought it was going to be a Underworld win. So probably was fairly in your favour, that one. The votes.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. All right. So next is who is next? It is Dazzle Wagstars against the Byzantine Bashers. Orcs against Chaos. And I haven't. This is the point where I admit I haven't watched any more of the games. So maybe this will go faster.
We'll see.
Yeah.
From my game, it's Shake Hands Bowl. It's not Shake Hands Bowl.
Yeah, there were like for the yeah. I think that's the last game of the week, right? So we'll save that. But yep. I was disappointed at the amount of Kaz, and not just because I'm playing XCAM this coming week. So but maybe a little bit.
After 2 seasons of talking about his team, you finally get to play him.
Yeah. So,
but we'll go into that shortly.
Well, shortly.
Well,
I think the as much as we need to know about this game is probably shown on this shot of the Dazzle Agstars.
Yeah.
And their 5 removed players, including a movement busted Black Orc. That's got to be tough for the Orcs.
That's a horrible one.
Unsurprisingly, all the Kaz caused by the Claw, Mighty Blow, Beastman, and Warrior.
Yep.
Although the other Beastman got MNG'd, so maybe that happened really early on, and then the other Claw kicked in. But whatever.
Well, he completed the kill stack, didn't he? And it rewarded him with Kaz straight away.
Yeah. Although the Warrior actually got more Kaz without having piling on, but it's
true.
Yeah. MVP causes a nice Warrior level.
Yeah.
And also an Orc level. So what do you get for the Warrior who has Block, Guard, and Mighty Blow already?
I think I'd like to see Stand Firm, but it's going to be Claw.
I would also like to see Stand Firm. But he's already got 3 Claw. This is the point where, every Claw... So maybe a 4th Claw is acceptable, yeah? Because, there.
But then when the next one levels up, there's one that's 1-star player point away. And then that's Claw as well.
Oh, wait. Did I level up players on my game? I think I did. Did I level someone?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
No one was interested in that. You leveled up Napoleon.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Napoleon, the plus
agility up.
So obviously,
block or dodge.
They don't have access or dodge on a double.
Dodge on a double or block on a normal.
And a neuro.
No, wrestle, isn't it?
There you go. Yes, that is the correct answer.
Yeah. Why did it take me so long to get to that? And then the other one's a blitzer who would have got block, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that is, I think, pretty much exactly what I went for. I don't think I rolled anything.
Why did I forget wrestle for a second?
Yeah.
Yep. Those are them.
Yep.
Apologies for that.
A new wrestle tackle strip lineman with Agi 4, which is very exciting.
Well, he's not at wrestle, tackle, and strip yet.
No, but that's essentially the plan for his levels, unless he rolls anything good.
He's got the 2 most important parts.
Yeah, the Agi 4 and the wrestle.
The Agi 4 and the wrestle. The rest of them are just really, really nice to have.
Yeah. Anyway, wait. So, block, guard, mighty blow, warrior on the Byzantine Bashers. Now, I don't like. I think 4 Claw is already getting to the point where when you play AV7 teams, you're wasting TV.
Yep.
And 4 Claw is also the point at which even even against AV8 and 9 teams, the chances are one of them's going to not get enough use.
Yeah. Well, he's got 2 other warriors that are really close to leveling as well.
But I'm very concerned that you're right. I would like Stand Firm too. He has gone.
Because if all 3 of those went stand firm, that'd be really nice. Yeah, he's got claw. Well, never mind.
No.
I can sort of understand it, and against some of these teams that he's going to be playing against, it probably will be handy.
He's got 4 claw and 1 tackle. You're going to get, out-elfed,
Yeah.
basically.
The stand firm would have helped against the elf as well.
Mm. Tackle, I wouldn't mind tackle as well. I quite like the strength.
Tackle on the warrior? Yeah. It's not normally something people think about that early, is it?
They're not,
it's not
like,
bad.
They're slower, but it's not that big a deal.
They're not devastatingly slower, no.
Yeah.
And you don't, well, I suppose you don't have to get an assist with a beastman either.
No.
Stupid horns. Yeah. Fair enough. If he's building his team that way, I suppose.
Maybe he's just going to, maybe he's not intending to actually win too much, and he's just going to spend another season in Division 3.
Killing things.
It's interesting the perspective here. So you described Upme's, rise to Division 3 as like meteoric almost.
It was very quick. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like down in Division 3.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a mindset thing.
It was a jump from Div 5 up to Div 3.
Yeah. Where,
the meteoric rise.
Yeah. But and whereas to me I'm slumming it down in Division 3 to get the rest and level up my team.
Your team's also a lot of seasons old.
Yeah. I have a feeling that they went
difference.
Yeah, I have a feeling they went to Division 3 fairly rapidly as well. But anyway, whatever. Choice of words is interesting. Anyway, yeah. So the Orcs also got a level up on their on alignment. Dazzle Wag Stars.
He's already got a dirty player, so I'm guessing just block.
Maybe wrestle, because sometimes you get wrestle on Orc lineman. Maybe don't hate it.
No.
He did go block, I think.
Big pile of meh, really.
Yeah, it is block. Yeah.
Yep.
Block and guard on everyone you possibly can.
Block, guard. It's guard on a double, isn't it? I think with Orc lineman.
Yeah, it might even be worth recycling.
Yeah.
The
same argument you just made for the Chaos Warrior getting tackle. Potentially, you could get a bit more tackle if he felt like he needed it. Admittedly, they'll probably just be put on the line. But I suppose with elves, if you've got some block and some guard on the line, having a tackle there means they've got to dodge away from it.
Who's going on the line next game?
Ooh.
I would rather have a recycled Orc and more chances to roll something better than block. I think the linemen are terrible. They're just going to go on the line anyway. They're going to get clawed again.
The linemen are going on the line, and do you put the troll on the line?
Yeah, you probably have to.
He's got regen, so probably.
He's got regen, and he's got 2 normals that also are they winning you games? Not so sure.
Yeah, that seems fair. Even then, I don't think that works. I suppose the at some point the movement 3 Black Orc will be going on the line.
Yeah, you're not firing him, are you? Those are some.
I don't think you can. It's got some really good skills that you'll really miss.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying that the move down. It's not an instant firing injury, but it just really, really cripples that player.
Yeah.
I think he just gets line duty and no app overwrites, I suppose, till he dies.
I mean, movement 3, guard, mighty blow, Black Orc still doing something, right?
Yeah, it's really handy. I still don't think I'd want to Apo him though, if you've got better players to Apo. Depending on what point of the game it is and stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Eventually you probably want to replace him.
Yeah. Alright, so who thought that Chaos would win? Almost no one. Wow.
Yep.
The only person who thought Chaos would win this game against the Orcs was XCAM, the Pro Elf player. You know what that says? Normally, I thought all the Claw fanboys always pick their,
vote for each other.
Yeah, well, vote for each other is slightly the wrong. Like, I don't mean they vote for each other, but they. Actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, so maybe they do vote for each other.
Are you thinking they overemphasize how important Claw is? Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But then, actually, I came to the realization while saying the sentence that people who play Claw teams realize how Claw often doesn't fire, and it's not a reliable way to win games as much as some people think.
As much as it's rumored to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That does put XCAM out in the lead of the predictions, but only at 9 points. So been a bit more spread out than 5G, where Uldar is already on double figures. Anyway,
there's a lot more games here.
Yeah, that should mean there's more chances to get predictions right, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead we're all getting them wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway.
But it won't be long. I'm sure someone will hit double figures this week.
Well, you should know, because you've done the
work.
Should. You've done the work to actually check.
Ooh, we've got a raid.
Oh, really? Oh, Patrick and Puff. Hello, Patrick and Puff, with your 12 viewers. Patrick, the human, and Puff, the canary or parrot or something. Hey. I assume this is a Rebel recap into another Rebel recap type raid. Yeah, that looks like a canary to me. That's not a parrot. There you go.
That's a budgie.
Budgie? What's the difference between a budgie and canary? Cockatiel. Okay, no, that is a parrot then, isn't it? Damn it. Wait. No, is that just a small cock? I don't
know. No.
Wait.
Oh, good lord. So many emotes.
Oh. Ah, yes. It's not.
Did you really?
Yes, yeah. If you look at my Steam, right. If you look at my Steam content in there, amongst various pictures, including 13 ones in one turn, I took a screenshot where essentially it looks like something's dripping out of the witch, but it's the blitz icon. The bottom of the blitz icon comes out down below the player, so the bottom of the blitz icon, extrudes from a point in the backside of the witch. And it like if you zoom in to the witch elf butt, then you will see what looks like dripping.
Fair enough.
So I took a screenshot of it because I think it's funny. Also, if you happen to like playing
Dark, I regret asking questions.
Link. Oh yeah, sure. Give me a second. Oh wait, does that mean Copper? Were you the person who posted recently? There was like a comment on that picture, fairly recently. Like I took this picture like 3 years ago or something, when there wasn't that much, to take pictures of in Blood Bowl. Yeah, it's fairly far. You must be pretty deeply stalking me, because that's far down in my content page. That is. I'm scrolling. Things are loading in Steam. I still haven't got there. Oh, there we are. Okay. Someone Russian posted fairly recently. How do I get that to get the link? There we go. There you go, Rob.
Yeah, it's third on mine as well. Bloody hell.
What? Well, it was taken like.
On community content, it's the third on the list.
Okay, fine. Does it have a date for when I actually took that picture? Because that was like. That was a long time ago.
It's got more thumbs up than all of the ones around it.
Yeah, Witch Off Butt does that for people.
Apparently so.
Yeah. So there you go. I've just shared it, and now more people are going to like it. It's going to go even higher up the list. Wait,
Great.
I can't see. Wait, I can't see what. Like, I just only see my own content by order of date, right? So, in fact, I can tell you that is like. Oh no, I've taken quite a few screenshots. Anyway, yeah, that was like that. That was from when Blood Bowl. That was from when I was still playing Witcher 3. That's how long ago that was. But I don't know what day. I don't know when day it was. Anyway, why are we talking about this? There we are. Oh, 2017. Yeah. Thanks, Ruff. So 3 and a bit years ago. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
We've been sidetracked thoroughly for a moment. What were we talking about?
But yeah, also Dark Elf linemen, when they foul, they do a foul that looks like they're showing their butthole to you as well. So Dark Elves definitely the kinky person's Blood Bowl team.
Yes, Copper, you have very successfully completely sidetracked the recap. And we do that by ourselves a fair amount anyway.
Like what? This is just normal conversation. This is just normal recap as far as I'm concerned. So if someone brings up something, it's rude not to talk about it, right?
Fair enough, yeah. Maybe. Oh, God.
I clearly need to take more pictures of Witch Elf butt to be more popular.
I've sent you a picture of it in the 5G notes so that you can see my screen on it, so you can see how high up it is on the content.
I got pinged by that, but I couldn't work out where it was. Got it. Okay. I mean,
the middle at the top.
Who even looks at Steam for this kind of thing? I don't know. Oh, it is. Oh, wow. What? Oh, third compared to other people. I thought you were just looking. What? I thought you were just talking about. Oh, okay. Wow.
That's on the community content part. If you scroll down a little bit from where play is on that page.
Well,
you can actually see it where the play button is.
Well, that's unexpected.
Yes.
And also the only thing with thumbs up of all those bits of community content.
Yep, you've.
I mean,
Kador's community guide hasn't got any thumbs up. Yours does.
Like that. Go on.
The others do have thumbs up. Some of them. That's only because I had my mouse over that.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. Still, that is ridiculous.
Yes.
I don't know what to say other than, oh my god, not enough. See, so I was going to say who actually looks at Steam, but clearly this is a sign of not enough people looking at Steam. That's not even the third best picture I have, in my opinion. What the hell?
Yeah. You did not miss a great deal, Stalin, unless you like hearing about witch elves and pictures that Fortnite makes of them.
That sounds worse. How does that sound worse than what it actually was? I don't understand.
That was intentional.
Yeah. Okay, good. I thought that might be the case, but I wasn't entirely certain.
No, I was trying to make it sound as bad as possible.
Good.
It's actually that bad that I need another beer.
Yeah, it's the sound of me pouring cider. Can you hear that?
So, we've got Dolphangs versus Fecal Fantasy next, haven't we?
Yeah. Which is why I'm far more interested in Dolph.
Horribly back on topic.
I mean, Zinj and his claw. 2-1 to Zinj. A lot of murder.
At least another season.
What, the vampires? What?
No, the Nurgle needs at least another season to level.
This is sarcasm, right?
No, I'm still just quoting the last game of last season. That's what Zin said.
Oh. Yeah, no. I don't like this team. This team is like does not need to be leveled anymore. Thank you very much.
I think he just wants some more tackle and things on it.
I mean, you could always choose to get tackle instead of more claw and more mighty blow. It is an actual choice people make.
Rob Top said he saw the game and it was extremely one-sided from the off.
Yeah, I imagine it was one-sided in as much as Zinj murdered everything that the vampires had.
Yeah.
Would that be a good guess?
The thralls disappeared from the front line.
Yeah.
G-Cell made a mistake and it snowballed.
What was the mistake? I wonder.
He didn't say.
Yeah.
Rob Top says that that Zinj let him score. Just assets.
Yeah, standard. Oh, I forgot. Oh no, shit! I did. I watched. I watched this as well. Did someone stream this, or did this happen before last week? Did I look at this? I looked at this at some point, and I saw you. Yeah, you did a turn where you moved the vampire. Oh yeah. So after last week, I said I'm going to get more clips. I'm going to check out the games early on, and I might have been watching Harmel. No, I didn't watch Harmel stream it. I watched the replay the next day, planning to like get ready and take more clips. And I saw the vampire get moved and then come off. Yeah, no, I do that as well. Sometimes when a turn takes a long time, you're thinking about a lot of things, and you roll a bloodlust and then make the move, and then by the time you've decided what you're actually going to do, you forget that you rolled bloodlust earlier.
Yep.
Especially if you're doing like step by step, a dodge, and then thinking about it and stuff. It's really easy to do.
5 more seasons, I'll get it down to 0. That'll be all right.
I can tell you that I've been playing.
Improving.
I've been playing vampires for more than 5 seasons, and I still do it. So, and I have very strong opinions about try not to make mistakes. Not making mistakes is like the first thing of any kind of competitive venture. Yeah, 0 mistakes.
Did we talk about that offline, or did we talk about
No, that was earlier in the stream. That was 5G. Like the first step to anything competitive is don't make any mistakes, and you can polish up being good at things once you don't make any stupid errors. Is kind of the way I look at a lot of things. I said that comes from American football, but it also I used to do like competitive cycling, and that's a similar thing where just pedaling in the wrong place will lose you seconds. Weirdly. Anyway, don't make mistakes.
Yep, don't make mistakes. Don't play Nurgle.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, maybe playing Zinj at this point in the season when he only has 1 tackle and you have a lot of blodge might have helped with the amount of attrition here, because losing a couple of thralls, not a bad result.
Yeah, that's that's not unfair.
And getting a completion and a touchdown, and an MVP that's that isn't a dead player.
Replaces the dead one that was also on 5.
Yeah. Could be worse.
It could be.
One of the touchdowns was to the wrestle tackle rotter.
It's going to be exciting to see what he gets.
I'm going to guess foul appearance.
Ooh.
What do you think?
He's gone wrestle tackle.
So you think
go the whole way and strip?
Yeah, strip would be the next thing, but like
that would normally be the next thing in that combination, but not normally on a rotter.
Yeah, it's a mutation, says Rob. So I'm saying it's either another tail or foul appearance.
Claw. Yeah, tail would be better actually.
At what point do you decide you've had enough claw? That's the question.
I think tail. He's got tackle. Tackle and tail is annoying.
Yeah. Good.
I think that's a reasonable one.
What the hell am I doing? Wrong screen. There we go. Boom. And he actually went for. Yeah, it is tail. Yeah, I like that more than strip.
I think I like most choices more than strip.
On a rotter.
Yeah, on a rotter.
I mean, this team is pretty well developed now.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I suppose if he gets another level with that and a double, diving tackle would be horrendous.
A double would be great. Well, you say horrendous, but it's still movement 5, so getting into position is problematic. I think foul appearance, foul appearance becomes more effective the more you get of it, right? So having 5 or 6 already. You know, that's a lot of chances for people to roll ones on blocks before they've even made a block.
It's true. Get people rolling more dice.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Is there anything else to say about that? So I did watch this game as well.
For all.
I need to close down all these Steam things because it's
Nurgle things.
I can't believe that's the third. Anyway, fine. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a huge amount more to say.
No. I mean, okay. Oh yeah, there is one more thing to say. Who predicted it? I'm guessing a lot of people predicted it because I imagine a lot. That's not great podcasting, is it?
There was still quite a few people did.
But what predicted vampires?
Predicted. Quite a lot of people predicted the Nurgle. Not many people didn't predict them.
Yeah.
There was 3 people that didn't vote for the Nurgle.
That's kind of what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
So we have. Where are we? Organized Crisis. Have I even put him in?
Did you put
Org Cry. There we are. I see him. Sorry.
Yep.
XCAM, who makes it to 10.
Yep.
Riff Cannon, who's now on 7. Pyro on 9, which is pretty good.
Yep.
And Rob Top and Harmall. Why did you and me not? What happened?
I voted for the draw, and I think you might have.
Wow, that's crazy. What a terrible choice we both made.
No, you voted for the vampires.
Oh, there we go. Still even bad, even worse. I was probably trying to. It's probably the old thing of me trying to convince you that it would be a good idea, and then convincing myself too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That has happened before.
Yeah.
And it will certainly happen again.
Yeah, exactly. Next is We Are Zons, Smithies, Amazons against Full Metal Alchemists, Pyro TJ, and I think even Rob was surprised by this result. I have a feeling Rob did. Wait. Oh, I can check this before I say that. No, Rob did vote for himself. Ignore me. But Rob and Harmall were the only 2 who actually voted for the Zons to win this game. I was pretty sure that the low TV and mass mighty blow and piling and tackle would make short work of all the Zons.
Yeah, the TV down Zons.
Yeah, but lost a few players, but not enough to stop them scoring. Yeah. Oof.
I just saw a dead Tomb Guardian.
Oh, a dead 48 SPP Tomb Guardian as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's harsh. I watched this game as well. Damn it.
So our whole thing of we've not watched many of the games. You've actually watched quite a lot of them. Dead Tomb Guardian on a 1 dice power. Your 1 dice or his 1 dice?
It was Rob Top's 1 dice.
Because it can't have been his 1 dice, surely.
Yeah, I know. Did either of us look at the 3C notes? No, I did put it there. Damn it. I definitely watched this and the other game. That's irritating.
There's not anything in the 3C notes, I don't think.
No. Just what I guessed last time.
Yep.
That's irritating. Anyway, yeah, congratulations, Rob. Only badly hurts as well, and MVP not landing on a loner or a dead player is always beneficial.
Getting a level out of it as well.
Look, was that 2 vanity passes I see as well, or were they necessary? You know, if they were if they were vanity passes, I'm gonna screenshot your team and send it to Eliod.
Look, even Amazons are doing it now.
Mm-hmm. One of them's Agi3 who made a pass and everything.
If it was Camry doing it, then definitely send them over. Not vanity passes.
The Khemri, I've definitely got the vanity passes from the Khemri before. Turn 8 vanity passes. I might clip the next one and send it to Eliod, and then complain to him about it then. So anyway, the dead Tomb Guardian at least was made up for by 5 SPP landing on one of the other Tomb Guardians.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe not quite, but yeah.
Not quite sure Pyro will see it that way, but
no,
fair enough.
No. Khemri fell apart just when I attacked them. Yeah. The problem with having lots of AV7 skeletons and really needing to have all your players on the pitch. So anyway, Blodge plus Agi, kickoff return line woman, got another level. I'm guessing sure hands.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, you're running out of options. Or what?
Kickoff return could get you underneath the ball.
Like a catch is a double, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
Only general access.
Keep getting as a line woman.
Basically, your choices really are tackle, sure hands, or fend on a normal. Maybe catch on a double would be kind of cool, but you've got catches. Is it?
Well, Prop Top doesn't.
He has had catches. Maybe he's going to get some more at some point.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I think sure hands then.
Yeah, sure hands.
Probably not really actually any question in it.
No, I think a double you get guard anyway, right?
Yeah.
And the line woman getting MVP, block or wrestle. I guess wrestle because there's not that much wrestle around yet. And that
there's only one wrestler.
That one's going to get blocked because of guard. So yeah.
I think those are both reasonable choices.
And no levels for the Alchemist. Wait, I am actually showing the screen, aren't I? Yep, cool. Lol.
Always worth checking.
Yeah. 2 siders in, it's entirely possible that I'm be looking at the wrong screen.
Didn't get sure hands.
Didn't get sure hands, did you say?
No.
Did you get something better?
He got a stat.
On a plus Agi player?
Yep.
I mean, I'd be happy with movement. I'd be happy with more agility. I'd be ecstatic with strength.
It's more agility.
Ooh.
Agi 5 Amazon.
Ooh. That's cool. It's far better than taking up general skills, which is basically your other choice, right?
Well, yeah, because otherwise, after the sure hands, as we just read out, there's not really much else to take.
No. But, I mean...
Sorry. It a level before it becomes a bit suspect getting normals?
What I meant is, double 5, would you take movement still? No.
Yes.
Yeah?
I think I would.
Yeah, no, I would take movement as well.
I want movement up.
Yeah.
And getting the extra movement on the Agi up player would be incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would take movement as well. But that's what I mean, you know.
Yeah. Take movement in a heartbeat. Brought 2 catches for vanity passes now. Oh, yes, there are 2 catches there.
Were they both missing, or have they just both been bought in one game?
Bought.
God damn it. Okay. I mean, you really need a thrower at this point if you really want to vanity pass, but whatever. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry.
Agi 4.
I missed the comment from Rob about 2 catches of vanity passing in chat. Yeah.
Man, at this rate, even the Khemri will have an Agi 5 piece before me.
Wait. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hang on. There we go, and they can't have one.
Yeah. Poor Khemri.
I like the fact that it was both people both slowing down, just like, hang on a minute. No, no.
No, definitely not. I mean, they don't even actually have Agi 3, right? So.
This is a rare Khemri team. Normally, the Khemri teams always seem to have them.
Yeah.
Or at least the ones I notice.
Yeah, someone rolls Agi up, and you take Agi up on everyone except for the Tomb Guardians. I was about to say Flesh Golems again. Jesus Christ. Why do I have those 2 words so mixed up in my head?
I don't know. Genuinely don't know. It confuses me a great deal.
Yeah. It's because there's maybe like the syllables are similar.
Maybe. He's got the new Tomb Guardian at least, so it's there and can start its slow but steady grind up the levels again.
Yeah. Although now, like, it's more correct because, like, this
There's always meant to be one that doesn't level.
Yeah, exactly. Before he had, all 4 had at least 2 levels, and that's not right.
Yep.
This is what a Khemri team is supposed to look like. You always have 1 Tomb Guardian. Like, he might get 2, he might get 4 SVP, but he's never going to get to 6. He's going to lag behind until someone else dies, then he'll get those 2 more SVP. That's how it works.
I think you're mixing up Tomb Guardians and Flesh Golems again. Well, there's always meant to be 1 and only 2 or 4 SPP.
With Flesh Golems, like, there's only 2 of them, so the chance of there being 1 is that worse or better? Usually, worse? Yeah, worse. I think it's worse, actually. I was going to say better, but yeah. All right, fine.
But yeah, in my experience, there's always 1 that's just refusing to level.
Yeah. Well, and because he's not got Mighty Blow or, block, then he's going to level slower.
Yeah, it's true. Harmel says true. We want our point. Don't forget Rob Top and Harmel.
Yeah, that's exactly what the pause was me navigating back to where you sent me who voted for what. I actually already have the dialogue open to. No, I don't. No, I closed it to find the. Anyway, I am heading right there. So Harmel and Harmel. Oh yeah, well you need the points, Harmel. I actually Harmel's stream. I've noticed him talking about needing to up his prediction rate as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Go on.
I like carrying over outside of just the normal streams.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, Rob gets to 10 as well. That's impressive. Cool. So both Rob and XCAM getting to 10 because of that result. But yeah,
I had a lot of practice in 4B last season, I suppose.
I've been enjoying listening to Harmel's stream or watching Harmel's streams and him. I've been enjoying watching Harmel's streams, and I've been particularly enjoying listening to him talk about how much he wants to be higher up in the predictions. So, and how he's taking the predictions really seriously from this week on because he's too far behind, which I find very funny.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway,
I just opened the same thing over and over. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So penultimate game of the week. And we're finally on to the. Are we both a little bit worse for wear in terms of Anyway, whatever. Rylith Dreamers.
It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, we're fine. No one's noticed.
Yeah.
Not quite got.
So Rylith Dreamers.
Not quite got to Dimmy. I love you, mate. Moment. But anyway,
no.
Rylith Dreamers Nibbanan against the Serpents of Inaruk. Ravers.
Yep. Ravers and Nibbanan playing.
Yeah.
That's much easier.
Yeah. But the 2 teams with the hardest, team names to say.
You'll be pleased to know. I was watching sorry, just to go off on a massive side tangent as well, but not being able to pronounce names. I was listening to my recap before we came on, and they were pronouncing Mr. Majorison as well.
Yay! It's the way to pronounce it.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, he beat Andy. He beat
Andy
this week, didn't he? Yeah.
He did. Yeah, they were calling him Mr. Majorison as well.
Yeah.
Which pleased me.
Who are your recappers?
It's Gunnerside and Losra.
Ah, so cool. I just think that's how you pronounce that word, right? It's how you'd read it if you didn't realise it was Mojo Rising.
Yep.
Mojo Rising. Anyway.
It's good.
Yeah.
And Rylith Dreamers.
Yeah. 2-1 to Ravers. Talking of things I can't pronounce properly. Ravers. Yep. No deaths, just badly hurts. Oh, the elves, was that 11 players?
Impressive considering he lost a lot. It took 9 KOs and 4 casualties and still managed a 2-1 win. Pretty impressive.
I watched this game as well. God damn it. I remember this now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. I think I've watched like most of the games this week, but I didn't actually.
Claiming not to.
Yeah, I like not like full on like so. The 5G, the 5G replays. I sat through carefully and watched every dice roll type thing.
These you watch for pleasure.
The ones that I've forgotten about, I watched either Harmel's stream or I watched them in Cabal Vision next day without kind of in the background a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But enough for me to go, oh, that seems familiar, which is kind of irritating without being useful. Anyway.
Yeah. Agreed. So we got some star player points on the Rill of Dreamers for Beastmen causing casualties, Warriors causing casualties, but no levels.
No, nothing.
Nothing too exciting, sadly.
No.
But a couple of levels on the Dark Elf side. Including one for the Drestal Guard Strength guy.
I remember the pass from the Agi guy to the Guard Beastman. God damn it. Anyway. But yes, 2 level ups.
After they were 1-0 down or 2
Yeah, no, they were 1-0 down. I think the Dark Elves received and scored. And then
so they stole it.
And then the Chaos scored on the same. Oh, no, it was 1-0 at the half, and the Dark Elves turned over the Chaos. Chaos received. Dark Elves turned them over, scored on their drive. Chaos didn't score. Dark Elves received. Dark Elves score. Chaos score back. So it's like 2-1 into 2. I think.
No, it's 2-1.
Can't remember.
Fair enough.
Something like that. But yeah, okay. Wrestle, Guard, Strength, Lineman. I was going to say it's hard. Actually, it's obvious what you get. Go on then. You know what would you choose?
You going for tackle?
I'd go for dodge.
Oh, dodge.
Why am I... Yeah. Dodge.
It's because we've just been talking about linemen that can't get anything but normals, but yeah, dodge.
Yeah, dodge. I was thinking, like, do you get him block at some point as well? Because like guard and strength, it'd be quite nice to be able to pick when you make him fall over. He could be like a Prince Moranion.
He could be if he got tackle as well, or is he going to have guard instead of tackle?
Having dodge also isn't Prince Moranion, which is irritating. If Prince Moranion had dodge, he'd be amazing. He'd be Griff level of amazing. You know,
it's still pretty good as it is.
He's pretty good, but he's not like there's like 3 or 4 like top tier star players. Griff is one of them, and the Hypno Gaze, who is the symbol of my channel when I wait. Yeah. You know. Anyway.
Yeah, that has to be dodge. Sure.
It has to be dodge, I think. And the other lineman probably dodge as well. Maybe another wrestle.
Dodge, block, wrestle, something along those lines.
Yeah.
One of those 3, depending on how he feels what his next game's going to be.
Raver's team values getting up there. Yep, dodge and is that kick? Dodge. Was that kick that? Yep.
Yep.
Oh, it's a movement busted player who leveled up. Yeah, I like those.
I think you still take kick. Yeah.
Harmel says Edril, Griff, and Skitter, which yeah.
Skitter is awesome.
Yeah.
Annoying, but awesome.
I mean, basic and Glart's pretty good as well for undead and Skaven. You know, he has his uses.
Undead.
Underworld.
Yeah.
Talking of words, I get mixed up. Anyway.
Yeah. All good.
Cool.
How did our predictions go?
Oh, yes. Good point. Keeping me slightly on track.
Yeah, we're slowly falling apart here as it gets later and later.
You're not doing very well today, are you?
I was keeping that quiet.
Okay. You
Not
did
very successfully, apparently.
You did.
I did really well last week.
Yeah, you did really well last week, and you've not had a complete whitewash this week, so you know you can't complain. Well, so far you have.
Yeah.
But you're going to get one at some point, so it's not that bad. Okay, anyway, I guessed the Dark Elves would win.
Undead is just Underworld on steroids.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
And very different at the
Rather
same
than 2
time.
blitzes, you get 2 mummies. Rather than goblins, you get zombies.
Yeah. The Underworld do have regen troll, so there is that similarity.
No, I'm not thinking about this anymore.
It's too silly.
Not any real comparisons that you can make.
Yay! Pyro's on 10 points as well. This is 3 people on 10 points, and Rift Cannon. So, ooh.
It's been a fairly low-scoring week all round, to be honest.
I think actually it's not that it's been low scoring. Maybe it has been a little bit low scoring, but it's been nicely spread out. So XCam got to 10, then Rob got to 10, then Pyro got to 10. Like, if any one of those could have easily got another point.
We had a couple of games where only one person got it. We had a game where only 2 people got it.
Yeah, yeah.
It does make it quite a bit different on the number of points that go out.
Yeah.
And then are we on to the Elf-Off after this?
The last game, the Elf-Off, which actually, so quite often when there's Elf-Offs, it doesn't go, it's not a shootout.
It's exciting.
I am very pleased to say that it was, in fact, a complete shootout. And I think Harmel said...
That's what everyone hoped for.
Yeah, I think Harmel said something along the lines of it was a 1 in 36 that stopped him scoring from it being a 4-all or something, right?
Wow.
So, good job. Well played. 2 teams with no sure hands, and do both have strip ball?
You see, I'm sure I saw that comment, but I thought the game had ended the other way from reading it.
Yeah, no, that's weird. I thought the same thing. Sometimes the bot gets the team names or the coaches the wrong way around. Maybe it got them the wrong way around. Is that possible?
No, because in the Blood Bowl client it says it this way. It's 3-4.
No. I mean, so the client and RebelNet gets it right all the time. Okay. But SpikeBot occasionally gets one of the headers the wrong way around. It's either
I don't remember seeing it on SpikeBot.
It's either oh no, or is it it's the icon? The icons go the wrong way around instead. Oh, it was 1 in 36 for the 3-3.
I went 14 instead.
But maybe if the 3, whatever. But yeah, harsh. But this is what happens when you're elfing. Essentially, it's the 1 in 36s that decide it, right?
Yeah. It feels like that a lot of the time.
Yeah. Definitely, I've been in Elfie League. All my games have been decided by the person who rolls, too many double ones. Yeah.
Looking at the 2 teams, they both came out with obviously a lot of star player points.
As happens when
it's a 4-3.
Yeah. But I mean, beyond the 4-3 touchdowns, it was also 3-4, in terms of passes.
The injuries weren't too bad either.
Disappointing Kaz going to a lineman, but other than that,
it's not the end of the world with it being an unskilled 0-star player point lineman, though.
Yeah.
It's annoying to waste the 60k, but it's probably better than him having some star player points and then dying. Well, it is better than that.
Is it easier to count these numbers here? So that's 20 points for the Pro Elves, although he lost 2 of them, right?
Yeah, and 24 for the High Elves.
Oh no, wait a second, the other way around. The Pro Elves didn't lose any, so they get 20, and the High Elves get 22 because they lost 2.
Where did they lose 2?
On Orastil Lannis, who was the loner. Unless they bought...
Oh, yeah. Yes.
They could have bought him. But anyway, all of these SVP, and there was 1 level up on the plus Agi Blitzer.
Wow. Which plus Agi Blitzer?
The one who's only got dodge.
Yep. So he's already got one that's got tackle and leap. Do you think he might go strip and leap with this one, or is he going sure hands as the recoverer, or is the strength 4 agi 4 strength 4 agi 5 capture the recover piece.
I like diving tackle. I'd give one of them, like when you've got a blodge stepper, I'd give one of them diving tackle.
I normally love diving tackle on them, but with it having agi 5, I don't know.
It's interesting, actually.
I don't like the idea of him going on the floor.
It's only because of the pause that you know, that when you said, I was like, oh yeah, maybe it is a bad idea to give him the diving tackle plus agi.
Yeah. Normally, yes. Well, probably have both of them with tackle and diving tackle.
The number of times pro elves kind of, you know, put pressure on by standing a sidestep player next to the ball. You need that, or it's better to have that player. It's better if that player has diving tackle.
Yeah.
There is a lot of agi 3 and bash in this division as well, so it really screws up them because they probably won't have dodge.
Yeah, just a really difficult one.
Sire says frenzy. If you're gonna give frenzy to anyone, it'd be Morcar, who's strength 4.
Or Robert of Mortain, who's got block and tackle at the moment and his movement 8.
Mm-hmm.
You could give him it.
I do quite like frenzy.
I would actually really quite like that. With him getting frenzy next. Only 103 star player points to frenzy. I think we might be misusing the word only.
But, you know, on the other hand, he is movement 9, strength 4, agi 5. You'd imagine some of these SPP are going to come fairly quickly. You know. Although I feel like is XCAM specifically not scoring on him because of how well leveled he is already and how important it is to get SPP on other players?
I think he's got quite a few options to score. Looking at his team.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few players that have got that option for scoring fairly quickly.
Anyway, did we pick what the next level for the Blitzer is? Did you say what you think it is? I'm going to stick with diving tackle.
I think I'm going to go... it's going to be a double, isn't it, with XCAM? It'll be guard or mighty blow. I'll go with one of those.
I'd like... wait, he doesn't have mighty blow. I would give mighty blow to any of the blitzers or catchers who roll doubled at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is...
booyah!
Right. Booyah! Right. In your face.
I would normally love it. It's only because he's got agility 5 I wouldn't want him on the floor. But I suppose with that many agility 5s, maybe it's not quite as valuable to protect that one player.
I mean,
you've got 3 of them.
Also, diving tackle only means to go on the floor like a third of the time, right?
Oh yeah, and normally it means it's going to be a turnover for them.
Oh, Sia says he doesn't like diving tackle before tackle.
That's fair.
In Elfie, I would agree, but in this division where you've got a lot of teams who don't have very much dodge, there's 3 elves, Amazons, vampires, lizards. I guess there is a fair amount of dodge. But yeah, I like diving tackle before tackle in some cases. If you need both diving tackle and tackle on, then you have both blitzers. You know. No? All right, fine.
Tackle's fine. I'm happy with diving tackle.
Yeah.
It's what I would have gone for if he didn't have agi. But he's got 3 agi, so 3 agi ups. So he's probably alright anyway if one of them happens to get stamped on.
Yeah.
Because it got tackled.
So that leaves the leaderboard looking like this. Harmel still at 4-0-0 with the most beat up team in the division, I think. Yeah.
The lizards are pretty low.
The lizards are low TV, but they weren't, until they lost someone today, they weren't actually beat up. They just had a few Saurus. Yeah, they were just low TV, yeah. Whereas Harmel has like 8 players or something, if that.
Yeah.
And Zinj, yeah, if Zinj hadn't been too bashy against me, he would be on a better record, but he ignored the ball. And I think Ravers had a game where the dice screwed him as well. So, you know.
It happens. It's Blood Bowl.
Yeah. And then you have the people on 2 wins a bit further down. Anyway.
And it's about to get worse. Are you playing Zinj next?
No. Nope. Oh, it's going to get worse for the lizards. The lizards are playing Zinj next.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Harmel's got the chorfs, so he's not doing particularly well.
No. Well, anyway, so fecal. Oh wait, yeah. So fecal fantasy. Who's going to go for the lizards in this matchup between Zinj and the Finnish whatever they're called?
I think I might go for a draw.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just because you think it's
There's not a huge amount of tackle on Zinj's team. Admittedly, if there aren't the Saurus around, if they're getting clawed off the pitch, so they're not there to protect the skinks, then it's a problem.
I mean, it is worth mentioning that the Finnish, whatever they're called, Finnish Marvels. 1470.
Silly Billy, and probably a wizard,
and then the rest,
and then some other stuff. I don't know what else there is to get because I don't know other players. Is there a faster skink?
So is
skink with stab?
Is Silly Billy? Yeah, there is. Not Skitter. Is Skitter and for fuck's sake, I forgot what his name is.
You had him in about 2 games ago.
Yeah,
probably against
Zinj. I did. Yeah, against Zinj. In fact, I did have.
Whatever his name is. Right, here we go.
This is a race to
see.
Hemlock. Yeah, Hemlock. Exactly.
I just looked at your game against Zinj on RebelNet.
Oh, okay. But basically, Hemlock and Silly Billy are the two.
Helps by next week. Yeah, maybe.
I also had Helmet Wolf as well, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough game, but if the skinks can stay out of the way a little bit.
740 TV of inducements. Ooh, wait a second.
I think that's too much. Or are you thinking chef?
I'm thinking chef.
We missed the last prediction. That is a very good call, G-Cell.
We did what?
We didn't put the point in the last prediction.
Oh yeah, because too many people picked it, so we're not counting them. It's too boring.
It's too much hard work. What, they could be updated by next week?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say that.
They might be updated by next week.
If I don't do it while we're streaming, I'm not doing it at all. It's basically as simple as that. But I will do it now. Thank you for the reminder, G-Cell. That was in no way lax and whatever.
That's why I never ended up adding up all of the predictions on my division last season.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't say anything because that's the one game you actually got a point in.
I'm used to not getting points in predictions, though.
Yeah, but no. And
almost everyone else got points in it as well, so it doesn't actually make that much difference.
On the other hand, it is the point at which I get to 10. Yay! Yay me. G-Cell also gets to 10. Yay!
Actually, I should be trying to be more serious with this.
Why?
Well, I'm only 1 point behind you at the moment.
Yeah.
I shouldn't just be voting for nonsense just because.
Okay. You're reminding yourself of this just before we get to the actual predictions
yeah.
Now is the time to be competitive. Oh, but Pyro and XCAM are both now on 11.
Pulling away a bit.
Boom.
Nice.
Thank you again for the reminder, G-Cell. All right.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's good that someone's paying attention. And I am, perhaps unsurprisingly, going for Zinj in this matchup. I think the Lizards should get a chef. I think they still won't be able to win. Although Upme is a very good coach.
I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah.
Stick with my original assessment.
I think
after talking about going for a trying to be more competitive, nope. I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay.
go with gut feeling.
All right, so next is Toaster Bait Byzantine Bashers against Full Metal Alchemists Khemri. And
that could be a really rough game for the Khemri.
Yeah, there's only 130 TV of difference. I mean, it could be a rough team for either side, right? The Khemri with their 2 dirty players and fouling, versus the Chaos team.
Who've got a lot of guard and a lot of claw.
Oh, actually, so it might be less. Chaos have 200 TV of cash. So in real terms, the difference in between their TVs is only 100. Not less than that. Sorry, it's 80.
I'm going to go for a draw again, I think.
I mean,
Khemri are draw specialists.
I was going to say.
I think it could be a very swingy one, couldn't it? Though, if one, as with always with the bash teams, though, if one of them gets an advantage early on, then they'll win by snowballing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because the Khemri are probably going to have one bribe. With 80k, they could probably afford to put the 20k in.
Yeah.
To get a bribe.
I don't see the Chaos.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't see the Chaos lowering their TV enough either. Yeah. So.
But the Chaos have got 13 players, so.
I'm going to go for Khemri. I think there is Chaos can get removed by just Mighty Blow, and the Khemri have a lot of Mighty Blow.
The Beastmen are in the armory.
Yeah. And the Niggled Warrior is a worrying thing to have against a dirty player foul. Yeah,
I'm going to go with my draw, I think. I'll stick with the draw.
Cool. So far, right, we've both have made the same choices for the first 2 games, kind of. So next is the Serpents of Inneruk against Glart Death Grip Jr. Ravers against.
I'm going to find out whether or not I do actually decide to go for trying to win.
So what? Oh, why? What? Because
normally I'll just go Underworld because I like Underworld. Without thinking too much about it.
But so that means you're conscious or your subconscious.
The Dark Elves should have an advantage here
because they're Dark Elves.
Yes, and they've got a lot of stuff in their team.
I mean, the Underworld do have 2 claw players and less fear of being fouled when they pile on.
No, I'll stick with my original plan of going for the Underworld. Because they can have Skitter and a Wizard, probably.
I actually quite like the Underworld in this one as well.
Yeah. Skitter, Wizard. They'll probably end up with another Goblin. Because they're currently over... they're at 180k at the moment. So they'll probably get a replacement for the one that you savagely murdered. Before his time.
Yeah. Sadly for all concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think the Underworld have got a decent number of tools. Both their blitzers have got tackle. They could cause problems doing the glass cannon thing.
They could. I do.
If they don't do the glass cannon thing, then the Dark Elves should definitely beat them.
Mm-hmm. That's basically it, isn't it?
That's Underworld.
Yeah, essentially. I'm going to go for the Dark Elves, assuming that, the Dark Elves actually do have their own killer with Mighty Blow and Piling On, which against the Underworld is effectively the same as the 2 killers the Underworld have.
Yep, very effective.
There's probably
against the killers, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. They are, there's probably bigger targets on the Dark Elf team, but I think Ravers is a good enough coach. I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah. I think they've got more than enough tools to beat the Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going for the hope that the Underworld causes some casualties early, get a numbers advantage, and work from there.
Cool.
Probably won't happen, but it might.
Never know. Okay, so next is Harmel and his 2+ Supreme Leaders with 8 players. So their TV is actually 1700 on the nose. Against Rift Cannon and his Blood Horse Chaos Dwarves, who are on 1960 if they spend their money. There's a lot of people with a lot of bank going.
So Wizard takes him to 1850, and then he's got like 110k left.
Yeah.
For probably another line elf.
Having played Harmel, I think he'll go for a bribe.
I would rather have another line elf than a bribe.
Yeah, me too. Having played Harmel, I think he's going to go for a bribe.
Carry on fouling. You can foul anyway, just like you would have done with the loners. But then you've just got one to replace him.
Yeah, true.
Then if he doesn't get sent off, you're actually up a person.
It's definitely a better idea.
Yeah. I think that's fairly reasonable.
We'll see what Harmel does when he plays his game.
Yeah. He's going to have 2 of the loners die, but none of his actual players. That'd be nice. Yeah. I think Harmel will win.
Okay. I'm going to go for Blood Horse and Harmel finally actually not winning a game.
You've got more of a stake in this as well.
What? Why? Well,
you want that because then it will push. Well,
yeah.
Then you've got more chance of winning.
True, but this is also like, in terms of the combination of tackle and claw against a team like Harmel, this is the zenith of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty rough.
Yeah.
I did say he was going to suffer 2 deaths.
Yeah.
But just to the journeyman lineman.
I feel like like Rift Cannon could carry the ball more on the Strength 5 Centaur. I think, I don't like...
That thing exists. I don't like thinking about it.
Okay, yeah.
I genuinely keep forgetting that the Strength 5 movement up pulls exists.
Blodge. Break tackle. I mean, that is a great...
I think I have nightmares about it.
That's a great ball carrier, and Harmel doesn't actually have strip ball.
Moranion to chin the goat.
I mean, Moranion still needs an assist to... Wait, yeah, 1 assist to chin the goat. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with going for the Chorfs in this one. Safe bet is the Chorfs. Wow. Okay. All right, so next is me against the Pro Elves. And what surprises me about this matchup, obviously I've looked at it a little bit, is the Pro Elves have 11 players and have a higher TV than 13 Kislev. Now, Kislev are usually horrifically bloaty. So,
yeah, but Pro Elves normally don't have 3 agi ups and a strength up and a move up. 2 moves up.
Yeah, I've got 2 move ups and an agi up and a strength up too.
Yeah.
It's like the stats are not really like he's got 2 agi ups and the cheapest.
You're also fairly beat up.
Yeah. Yeah, mine are beat up, so that lowers their TV.
You've not got like stupid numbers of blitzers. You've only got 2, and only one of them is one of them's leveled.
Do you know
I had really?
Yeah, I had 4 at one point. 4. They were all really good. And then Zinj came along. Anyway, or not Zinj actually, but other claw teams. So Harmel said safe bets the Pro Elves in this case, which actually, because the number of elves, I think Kislev are an anti elf or AV7, especially elf team. Fast enough. I've got a killer. I've got some strip ball. They've not got the and diving tackle and all that stuff. I'm obviously going for me. I am the lower TV by exactly 10 at the moment. Spoon. Are you still there? Oh, I heard it. Oh, hello?
I'm back again.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Hey!
I can hear you again.
Amazing.
There was a moment where I couldn't.
Nope, apparently my internet connection died for about 10 seconds there.
I was worried it was mine, which obviously, when you're streaming and your internet connection goes, that's bad times.
That's the problem. Yep.
But yeah, no, the stream's still going fine.
It was me.
Okay, good.
This time, that's all good.
Was it just because you didn't want to admit, that I'm going to win this one, or?
No, I'll always vote against you. It's fine. Gladly, even. No, you are an anti-elf team, but I don't know. Some of those those players, you're still going to struggle to confine them.
Yeah, it's true.
He's even got a leaper. He can beat you at your own game.
I actually do have an idea of how this game is going to go, but I don't I'm not going to say it because I know that XCam watches the stream, and I don't want him to actively do the opposite of what I think is going to happen.
What you're assuming is going to happen.
But I have an assumption of how this game is going to go, and I'm going to play it to follow that assumption. And I think that means I'm going to win. If I was him, I can't see a way of him playing differently that improves his odds so that he has a better chance of winning than I think I have.
I'm still going to vote for XCamp. We've been following him for 2 seasons now.
Yeah. And obviously also the fact that he was in Division 4 and I got to make comments about him. I kind of have to beat him, having, made comments about his team repeatedly last season.
If you could beat him, wait till you play Rob Top.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
if you don't beat Rob Top, ooh.
No offense, but
after all of the Amazon,
no offense, but I expect myself to beat Rob Top far more easily than I expect myself to win this game. No offense.
Ooh,
but like many sentences that start with no offense, but it's kind of offensive, and I apologise. Anyway,
you're betting who's going to win a Blood Bowl game. It's not really that bad. So next up, we've got the Rilla Dreamers versus Dazzle Wargstars.
Yeah. So the Orcs had a game against Chaos, and they got murdered, and now they have another game against Chaos.
With slightly fewer players around.
Orcs have 11 players, and they are on 16.
They've lost a guard. They've lost a Blodge Blitzer, although the Blodge Blitzer wouldn't be that useful against this Chaos team, as he's full of tackle.
Are we both going for the Claw team then?
I'm going for the,
yeah, more better everything, basically.
Yeah. It's not easy for Orcs to play against, especially not win down team value.
Usually the way to deal with this kind of matchup is to have loads of guard,
which this team doesn't have.
No. Only having 4 guard in total and actually only having 3 for this game is bad times for the Orcs.
When the Chaos have got 5 guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. We're both going for the
something crazy happening. I reckon the Chaos will win that.
Yeah, agreed. And lastly, this is actually an interesting matchup. So, Rob Top's Amazons against G-Cell's Vampires. Now, I say that because actually, G-Cell has a lot more tackle than Vampires often have, but still only 2. One of them is the killer.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Which would be the only one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, quite often.
Yeah. The Amazons have got 2 tackle themselves.
And inducement. So the Amazons get a wizard as well, probably. 13 players. And not how.
No, they can't afford it.
Can't afford a wizard. 10 short of a wizard.
Bribe?
Yeah, that's what I'd go for.
They don't have a dirty player, so can they afford? They could afford an Amazon with dirty player.
No, can they? Oh yes, they can. Yeah.
Got what, 140, so they should be able to.
Yeah, just about. It involves spending their money though. Yeah. But yeah,
that'd be worth considering.
Yeah, probably better than the bribe actually.
Bribes without a player.
And they do have some plus strength. I'm actually going to go for, after having just rubbished him completely. I'm going to go for Rob Top to win this one.
Is he fire the agility 2-1 now that he's bought 2 new catchers?
I don't see why.
Players, then he can afford the wizard.
I'd rather have more players. I'd keep it.
Yeah. It's just going to go on the line anyway, and someone needs to go there.
Yeah.
Have I been voting for G-Cell consistently? Because I feel bad if I've been voting for him consistently and things haven't been going well.
Well, you think you might be spoiling it, and it's not that because he's playing vampires, it's because you've been voting for him that's been a problem.
Maybe I have that power. I don't think I do, but no. Maybe. No. I'm going to go for G-Cell.
Okay.
Anti-Amazon bias and all of that.
And with that, we're done. Yeah?
Ooh.
Cool. Because
how long do we make it to? 3.5 hours.
Yep, and I am
a bit late. Nice.
I am busting for the toilet, so I'm gonna fairly rapidly raid Steak Mittens, who's about to start a Rebel related stream, I assume, because all of his streams are Rebel related. But thank you for everyone who came along and stuff. Thank you, Spoon. I'm literally standing up to run to the toilet as soon as I press. Like seriously, I might have actually been pushing this a little bit faster for the last 2 thingies.
That doesn't sound like you.
No, relative to me, obviously. Anyway, thank you everyone, and goodbye.
Cheers, bye.
Seriously, I'm gone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.